preview on CISN, powered by Fairway. Back with you for week number 6 of the Iowa High School Athletic Association football season. It has been a wild one. We'll take a look back and a look forward here tonight as we get ready for our 2 games on CISN. It'll be West Des Moines Valley hosting Waukee in one of our matchups, and the Ankeny Hawks will welcome in the Johnston Dragons in another matchup. Lots of other good games around the area. A couple of teams taking some long road trips also this weekend, ranked in the top 5. Dowling Catholic will head up to Marshalltown to take on the Bobcats, while number 1 Southeast Polk goes down to Ottumwa. They'll face the Bulldogs in that one. As we still await officially what's going to happen with the Des Moines Public Schools, we are getting some more answers as it pertains to the eligibility of a number of the transfers. The most high profile is Arlen Bruce, who transferred in from the Kansas City area, future Iowa Hawkeye wide receiver. Eligibility was granted on Thursday to him, and he'll be out there available to play for Ankeny tonight in that matchup as the Hawks go up against the Johnston Dragons. We'll get into that a little bit more. A couple of the Dowling Catholic transfers as they welcome him in from Roosevelt. Their eligibility has been granted, so the continued evolution of this high school season, that we've never seen anything close to like this before, continues to roll on as we have 2 weeks left of the regular season. Remember, this season, it is different. Just a 7-week regular season before we get into the playoffs, and then every team will qualify for the playoffs. The brackets will be available here in just a couple of weeks. Get excited for that and how everything is going to play out. Before we go forward, though, let's take a look back at what we saw last week and start in Waukee, where their outstanding cornerback, wide receiver, kick returner, he does a little bit of everything. Aaron Smith, he was a story for Waukee. The Warriors got off to a little bit of a slow start against Johnston. The Dragons really controlled the game for the first quarter, but late in the first quarter, Aaron Smith made a big play in the passing game. He had 2 long touchdown runs, had an interception return for a touchdown, 4 touchdowns in the game. You've heard me talk about him throughout this season. One of the fastest players, if not the fastest player in the state, and he was outstanding Friday night in that victory for Waukee as they picked up the win 45-17 over a ranked at the top 5 Johnston team. Now Waukee will get ready for Valley here this week. We'll get into that more a little bit later on. Some other games that we saw, Ankeny Centennial gets their first win of the season, 21-17. Another good job defensively out of a Centennial squad going up against Taman Lippy, one of the outstanding athletes of the 2022 class. He's a top 100 basketball player in that class, but he can also play some football. Had 7 touchdowns in week 1 before Ames had to shut their program down for a few weeks. They're back there out on the field. Centennial holds them just to 17 points, and the Jaguars get their first win of the year, 21-17 in that one. Some other scores that we saw in games that we saw last week, another victory for Ankeny. The Hawks, as we talked about, Arlen Bruce. Well, it looks like they don't exactly need Arlen Bruce. They'll take him, and they'll put them out on the field, but his performance, the performance we saw out of the Ankeny Hawks, Jace Bauer outstanding again at the quarterback position, and Brody Brecht, another future Iowa Hawkeye. He was great at the wide receiver position. He had a big night in the victory against the Valley Tigers. We'll hear from some of the coaches a little bit later on as they get ready for these week 6 games. We'll get into that as well, as that's what we saw across central Iowa. Dallas Center Grimes in Class 3A, they keep rolling along. We see Van Meter down in 1A looking for another state championship. They continue to play great football. Des Moines Christian, they have been playing well. It's not just what we see at the big school level, also the small schools. A lot of great football being played in central Iowa. Conversation with the coaches coming up next. We'll hear from the coaches as we get ready for the games. As we come back, it's Prep Preview on CISN. We're powered by Fairway, and we're back with more in a moment.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At Mid-American Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Business owners, real estate agents, are you looking for an experienced, proven, and locally owned partner in Central Iowa for your commercial construction needs? Make it Roshan Corporation. Roshan Corporation will guide you through options to make your dreams a reality. Roshan, your general contractor who can build anything from small tenant improvement spaces to large-scale design-build projects. It's Roshan Corporation. Online at RoshanIA.com. If you can dream it, we can build it.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why SHOTTENKIRK Ford? Our core values: hard work, trust, character, integrity, honesty, and respect. During SHOTTENKIRK Ford's fall savings event, get up to $12,500 off 2020 F-150 XLT. No goofy rebates. Everyone qualifies. Up to $12,000 off 2020 Expedition XLT. New 2020 EcoSport 4-wheel drive starting at $18,990. Our certified used vehicles come with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. Hurry in. SHOTTENKIRK Ford, Indianola. SHOTTENKIRKFord.com.
Back with you on Prep Preview CISN, powered by Fairway. I'm Trent Condon. Ankeny tonight, they get Johnston, a top 10 matchup. The Hawks are flying high. And earlier this week, Paul Yeager had an opportunity to talk to the head man, Coach Nelson, for the Ankeny Hawks. Conversation with the coach, powered by Fairway here on Prep Preview.
Coach, I guess I should reintroduce myself. It's been a month since we've seen you at home at Ankeny Stadium. A weird season, but that's just kind of the way it goes. And here it is. It's homecoming, but you're getting a chance. Are you still talking to the guys that, hey, any game, any practice could be the end? And it appears they're listening.
We really haven't done that message. What we've done is our school's done a nice job, and the kids, they just don't bat an eye. They just put their masks on and go. And we did early when we were just starting. We did. We really talked to them about masks and, have them on when you're not in. And then we got those clear shields that Iowa State had. But then we just haven't really visited with them about it, other than, try not to get in huge groups. If someone has a party or something, we just try to stay away from that, but hang out with the guys because they've been around each other now for 7 weeks. So, and we try to do a nice job with them in school, just make sure, because we've had at least a half a dozen kids out because they sat next to somebody that tested positive. So I guess we've had more discussion about, hey, make sure where you're sitting, you're far enough away, or maybe you can get up and move around at 14 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever, so you're not 15 minutes in contact. So the kids have done a great job. I mean, all the kids in our school have done a nice job.
Your offense has put a lot of points on the board, even in week one, and then after the Waukee game, you even seemed like you kind of ratcheted up a little bit. Did that game get this team's attention?
Yeah, we played pretty good through 3 quarters on offense, and then the fourth quarter we couldn't even make a first down. And our defense had played really well, and then the last drive they just couldn't get a stop. I mean, they converted on 2 fourth downs. So, you'd like to think that we would make a play here. One, offense or defense would make a play, and we just didn't. I don't think it's our kids. They weren't trying. I think Waukee has a good team, but I just felt like we just couldn't do what we'd been doing the fourth quarter, and we made some mistakes and they made some plays, and they ended up beating us, and it wasn't much fun losing 7 seconds left in the game, but you got to make some plays down the stretch if you want to win, and they did. So I don't know if, the kids know that we have a good football team. We just need to play all 4 quarters. I mean, I know it's probably cliche, but I mean, that's the honest truth for any sporting event. Just, you got to play the whole game.
This year's all about cliches. You're all right, Coach.
Yeah.
Defensively, you talked about Caleb Rachi when we talked earlier this week. He's been a guy that, played for you last year, but you mentioned him very specifically. What is it that he's done that's improved his game and improved your defense this year?
Well, he's a tough kid, for number one. He runs a lot better than I think all of us coaches had thought. He'd gained weight. He's been a lighter wrestler. He's gained weight, gained some strength. When Cale Boyd quit, like 3 days or 4 days before our first football game, we just plugged him in, and he's played great. He's a great tackler, flies around, has a lot of passion, and I just couldn't be prouder of him. He's a fun kid to watch.
Offensively, if you just start pouring into numbers, and again, this year is kind of hard to put too much into it, but Chase Bauer is leading. His name just basically lives at the top of every one of those stat categories. Everybody focuses on Brody Brecht. I mean, last year that was the focus, and still this year they always know where number 11 is, but you got to worry about number 8, number 7, number 82. I mean, every coach tells me the same thing about your squad. Why is it that this year these weapons seem to be different and maybe have gone up a level?
Well, I mean, Summers has always been, he's a really good athlete. He's a nice sized young man. He can run. He has good hands. I don't, it's not a surprise to us that Summers is doing well. And Brady McCullough is a really nice sized kid. I don't know. He seems like he's grown. It seemed to me he's 6'4" or 6'5", and he's made some great catches. Weston Falk has been a solid young man for 3 years. So it hasn't really surprised us, probably as coaches, because we've been around the kids for 3 years. But maybe it surprised other teams that, when come left, okay, well now that, they're all they have is Brody. Well, I mean, that's not true. Kadolf made a great catch out of the backfield the other day. It was a heck of a catch. So it's just, obviously it's players. I mean, you're not going to win games unless you have players. It's not going to happen. I mean, I think as coaches, maybe somebody is naive enough to think I'm the greatest coach in the world and no, you have to have players. Can you develop some kids and bring them along? And yeah, but the bottom line is players win games. And so as a coach, I know we're good because we have good players.
Johnston has a pretty good player recruit to verbal commitment to Iowa State at tight end. I'm sure he's gotten your attention. Who else and what else about the Dragons have you?
Well, I think their quarterback's much improved. He was a kid that we saw last year. He's doing a nice job. They get that ball to 82. I think he has 63 catches, which is, outstanding. So yeah, we're going to have to know where he is because obviously they're going to throw the ball to him. He's half their offense. So, can we stop the guy? We're going to try. We think we've got, some things that we can do, and they'll move him around some. So, they do a nice job. They get the ball to their best player. I think he's their best player. Defensively, they'll their coach, the Helgeson, he was at Centennial. He's done a really nice job against us. Last year, we were down, I think, inside the 10 at least twice and got no points against them. And it was, it was 20-7 or something like that was the score. And one was a fumble recovery run back for a touchdown. So we know we've got our work cut out for us. I know Waukee scored a bunch of points. Urbandale scored a bunch of points, but nobody else has. So the kids know we've watched a bunch of film. They do pressure some, so we have to be ready for that. They'll slant on defense and twist. That they've always done that at Centennial when he was there. And offensively, we know we've got to stop their tight end, and their quarterback can run. They just haven't run him a whole lot, so we'll see what they decide to do with that. But the tight end's the biggest concern on offense, just because he has so many yards.
All right, Coach. Head coach of the Ankeny Hawks, Rick Nelson. Thank you so very much for the time. Appreciate it.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
If you plan to buy a franchise business or you're thinking of starting a new franchise, there's a lawyer right here in Central Iowa that can help you through the process. Rush Niggett of Brick Gentry Law PC has set up an affordable service to help individuals considering buying or starting a franchise business. Learn more online at rushonbusiness.com. Let Rush Niggett help you buy or start your franchise. Rush Niggett, the franchise lawyer with Brick Gentry Law PC. It's good to have Rush on your side.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Time to continue our conversations with the coaches. Let's hear next from Coach Woodley of Johnston. Dragons licking their wounds a little bit after last week. They look to bounce back against Ankeny tonight as we continue with conversation with the coach.
All right, Coach. Close games until last week. You called it a gut punch, but you said the guys responded on Monday. How have they responded the rest of the week to get ready for tonight?
You know what? It's been a pretty good week. I mean, it's like you said, last Friday was kind of humbling over to Waukee. You know, you get things rolling, and all of a sudden you take a step back and you come back and roll the sleeves up on Monday. And, you know, we've gotten better each night. I mean, that's hard. Simulating, you know, Ankeny's got so many weapons, you know, so on offense, and it's hard to prepare for. And you don't get the perfect look, but our scout team, I thought, has done a good job of simulating as best we can to get us ready for this game tonight.
You mentioned your opponents. You've had a gauntlet of a schedule. You faced one tough team, tough individual players. How is it to prepare for squads like that? I mean, do the guys respond going, hey, we get to play the best, or like, oh, man, we have to play the best?
Well, I just keep reminding them of this. During the times we are dealing with, was it the most ideal? No. I think we all would agree to play this many good teams in a row is very difficult mentally and physically. But I do try to remind them that we get to practice every day. We are getting to play games where maybe 3 months ago we didn't think we were going to play a season, especially in the fall. Yes, and then to get dealt very good football team is tough. You know, there's, you know, physically in football, it kind of takes a toll on you. But we're grinding it out, and we're excited to play Friday night against Ankeny.
And this is a team that your team, new offensive, new defensive coordinators, you're trying to put in a new offense. The offseason kind of slows you down a little bit, but let's talk about the development. Jack Rutz at quarterback. You knew that you were going to have a good tight end and Tyler Moore. Those are pretty good building blocks. How have they developed as the year's gone on?
You know, they've done a great job. Yes. You know, way back when I made the switch Offensively, schematically, new coordinator in Brett Becker. You know, I knew I had some weapons. We knew Jack could be a pretty good quarterback, and Tyler has developed his body since March when the pandemic started to put on 40 pounds, or about 30 pounds, I should say, to give himself a chance to be a pretty good tight end, and got some good looks from some Division I schools. And, you know, right now he's going to Iowa State. But, you know, offensively, they're doing a good job. You know, I'm hoping right now we can find some more weapons besides those two. We do have some young men that are capable. If we're going to win some football games, we got to have some more guys than Jack Rutz and Tyler Moore, to move the ball for us and score some points.
I also see, Blake Tubbs, Brady Hovey, those guys have done some key things. Why is balance so important for your offense?
Because, right now we want to help our defense out. We want to play good field position, good special teams, try to give ourselves the best chance to win. And I thought we've done that in most of the games. Obviously in the Urbandale loss and the Waukee loss, we gave up too many explosive plays. And our kicking game wasn't stellar those two nights, or especially the Urbandale game. But we want to grind it out. We want to be able to run it, to keep them off balance, and then be able to throw when we want to throw. That's kind of the key, throw when you want to throw. And hopefully we can run enough to keep that defense on their toes, or on their heels, excuse me.
And not throw when you want to throw, not when you have to throw, because the defense is expecting it. What are defensive keys for you tonight?
Big plays, explosive plays. We talk about those every week. Anything over 20, 25 yards to me is an explosive play. Last week against Waukee, I believe we gave up 5 big-time explosive plays that kind of hurt us. Aaron Smith kind of had his way with us. And if we can limit those and win that battle, if we can have more explosive plays than them, we're going to win. We have a really good chance to win the game. Brody Breck and his company, there's a lot of weapons there. Chase Bauer at quarterback, it's going to be tough to control him, but we got to keep everything in front of us.
That's been a strategy a couple of coaches have said about teams like Ankeny. Lastly, Coach, here, what do you see other important players or things that we should be watching for, that knowing you're going to have a good game? What's going to be a sign for us in the second and third quarters that, hey, things are going your way?
Well, I tell you what, I always, preach to our kids, weather the storm, and through the first quarter, get the tempo, get a feel of the game, keep the game tight going into halftime is the key. So if we get into the second quarter, especially halftime in a tight game, where Ankeny's the big time favorite, you get them maybe thinking a little bit. They haven't had to play 4 quarters this year very often. I know they have their one loss at Waukee, and I think Waukee took them to the 4th quarter and had a chance. So if the Johnston Dragons are within striking distance, a touchdown, up a touchdown, down at halftime, I really feel our kids start to feel a little bit more confident, and maybe we can execute and make some things happen in that second half and find a way to win.
Johnston head coach Brian Woodley. Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
If you plan to buy a franchise business, or you're thinking of starting a new franchise, there's a lawyer right here in Central Iowa that can help you through the process. Rush Niggett of Brick Gentry Law PC has set up an affordable service to help individuals considering buying or starting a franchise business. Learn more online at rushonbusiness.com. Let Rush Niggett help you buy or start your franchise. Rush Niggett, the franchise lawyer with Brick Gentry Law PC. It's good to have Rush on your side. For all of your and your family's eye care needs, make it Elite Eye Care. Dr. Ethan Heisman, Dr. Heidi Bell, and Dr. Kelsey Sawatsky provide expert eye care close to home. From eye exams to contact lenses, eyeglasses to sunglasses, make Elite Eye Care your local optometrist. Set up your next eye care appointment with Elite Eye Care, 9250 University Avenue in West Des Moines, and online at eyedoctordemoines.com. Business owners, real estate agents, are you looking for an experienced, proven, and locally owned partner in Central Iowa for your commercial construction needs? Make it Roshan Corporation. Roshan Corporation will guide you through options to make your dreams a reality. Roshan, your general contractor who can build anything from small tenant improvement spaces to large-scale design-build projects. It's Roshan Corporation. Online at RoshanIA.com. If you can dream it, we can build it.
Back with you one final time as we count down to kickoff on CISN tonight, a doubleheader of action. You can find both games on YouTube. Just search CISN. You can find all the sports coverage we have at the high school level. It's the fall season. There's swimming. There's volleyball going on. You can find that at CISN here on the YouTube page. Glad to have you aboard with us. We will bring you the Ankeny Hawks and the Johnston Dragons in one of our matchups, and a Western rivalry, the Valley Tigers against the Waukee Warriors. I've been told by plenty of people in the past, the headlines every single year when we get to usually week 2, that Valley Dowling matchup, that one's a little bit more of a friendly matchup. These are kids that grow up together. They play youth sports together. And though it's a rivalry and both sides want to win, there's maybe not the animosity, the hatred at times you get in a rivalry. For Waukee Valley, there's a little bit more of that. The new kid on the block, Waukee, going up against the behemoth that is the Valley Tigers. And with the way these two teams are playing coming into it, Valley and the struggles that they have had, Waukee flying high, Aaron Smith with 4 touchdowns last week. I think Waukee not only wants to win this one, they wouldn't mind putting a couple extra scores up there on the board. We will find out about that one as we continue here in just a little bit. And when you break down that game, it continues to be very simple. What is the offensive line for Valley going to do? It was a struggle again last week against Ankeny. It's been a struggle all season long, even going back to the week 1 game against Roosevelt. The Roosevelt front, not real big, but they had issues, especially in the first half of that one. And since then, starting week 2 with the loss to Dowling and continuing on last week against Ankeny, it's what's happening up front. That has been a big problem for that squad. Can they figure that out? And to have to do it against Waukee. This is a Waukee team that is physical. They are playing tough. They're playing hard. With the loss of Mitch Randall, I know a lot of people wondered what they were going to be, how effective they were going to be throwing the football. They've answered all questions. And really looking back even to their one loss of the season as they fell week 1 against Southeast Polk. Boy, Waukee, the way they're playing right now, love to see that matchup again in the playoffs, and the possibility that very real could happen. More than likely it would happen in the Unidome, either in the state semifinals or the state championship. Our other matchup tonight, Johnston licking their wounds after losing to Waukee last week, 45-17, and it doesn't get any easier for the Dragons tonight as they go up against Ankeny. Not only the Hawks putting big points on the board, Jace Bauer, for my money, he is the best quarterback we have in Central Iowa. He's played great again this season. The wide receivers, Brody Breck, the 6'4" dynamo on the outside with his great speed. McCullough helps out, Summers, and now they're going to add another great receiver to the mix now with Arlen Bruce. Now we're still going to see exactly in terms of snap count what Arlen Bruce is going to be able to go out there and do tonight. Though he has been practicing with the team since August, he hasn't played in a live game. And when you get into the game environment, just how different it can be, we'll keep an eye certainly on that and see what it's going to be for Bruce. But they are a deep wide receiver group. They can run the football. That offensive line has played really well. And with it, I think the defense has played better for Ankeny than a lot of people expected. What does Coach Woodley have up his sleeve? He's not going to be able to win this game, I don't think, in a shootout. This is one they need to keep it low scoring, 24-20, 20-17. That's the type of game Johnston needs this one to be. They're going to be able to pull off another upset and get another victory here tonight. A couple other games in Central Iowa. Well, teams from Central Iowa that'll be heading out. Dowling Catholic going to Marshalltown. Haven't played the Bobcats a whole lot recently. 2-3 this season for Marshalltown. We'll see what Dowling Catholic does with the long road trip. And number 1 Southeast Polk, they go to Ottumwa and their matchup coming up this evening.
Good evening and welcome to Ankeny Stadium. It's time for high school football. We will have football in a little bit, but first it's time for senior night. The band, the high school band, is going to have their senior night, and there'll be some other senior ceremonies that we'll try to cover you during this web stream on CISN.TV. Let's go down now to the field for those pregame festivities right now.
4 years and wish them well in all their future endeavors. Now let's please welcome our hot seniors and their parents. Let's meet our senior band members. Evan Albaugh. Evan is the son of Mike and Megan Albaugh. After graduation, Evan plans to go to college and study history or chemistry and possibly participate in the marching band. Evan Albaugh. Cynthia Angren. Cynthia is the daughter of Tony and Jessica Angren. Cynthia plans to go to college to be a vet tech and will minor in music while participating in the marching band and possibly bowling as well. Cynthia Angren. Duncan Bennett. Duncan is the son of Blake and Sarah Campbell. Duncan plans to attend Iowa or Iowa State and study engineering. Duncan Bennett. Corinne Bovey. Corinne is the daughter of David and Kathy Bovey. After graduation, Corinne plans to go to college to study biology. Corinne Bovey. Gabrielle Brady. Gabrielle is the daughter of Angela and Michael Brady. Gabby plans to attend college and major in instrumental music education. Gabrielle Brady. Lucy Bruner. Lucy is the daughter of Mike and Jane Bruner. She plans to attend college and major in biomedical engineering after high school. Lucy Bruner. Kayla Brummer. Kayla is the daughter of Todd and Shonda Brummer. Kayla plans to go to college and major in wildlife and ecological science after she graduates. Kayla Brummer. Mason Bush. Mason is the son of Jeff and Mary Bush. After high school, Mason plans to attend UNI and double major in instrumental music and math education while playing in the Panther Marching Band. Mason Bush. Morgan Clare is accompanied by Lori Clare and John Clare. She is going to DMAC to become a traveling nurse after high school. Morgan Clare. Allison Dorfler. Allison is the daughter of James and Jennifer Dorfler. Upon graduation, she plans to attend college and eventually become a foreign aid worker. Allison Dorfler. Michaela Doyle. Again, is accompanied by Bill Doyle and Meg Eskelson. She plans to attend the University of Iowa or University of Minnesota to study actuarial sciences. Michaela Doyle. Grace Ennis. Grace is the daughter of Natalie and Dan Ennis. Upon graduation, Grace plans to go to college and major in biochemistry and later go to medical school. Grace Ennis. Jack Enright. Jack is the son of Carrie Enright and Andy Enright. He plans to go to college and continue in marching band after high school. Jack Enright. Hope Evans. Hope is the daughter of Nate and Rachel Evans. She plans to go to Carthage College to study psychology and forensic sciences after high school. Hope Evans. Emily Fetters. Emily is the daughter of Mike Fetters and Wendy Fetters. She plans to go to college and study microbiology with a minor in environmental science. Emily Fetters. Sarah Fraley. Sarah is the daughter of Jim and Amy Fraley. Sarah plans to attend Iowa State University to double major in psychology and statistics on the pre-med track. Sarah Fraley. Orlando Gonzalez is the son of Jose Gonzalez and Claudia Paseos. Orlando plans to major in business analytics at Iowa State University. Orlando Gonzalez.
I just searched for it.
Kate Green. Kate is the daughter of Kelly Green and Patrick Green. Kate plans to go to DMAC to study culinary arts after high school. Kate Green. Lucy Ha. Lucy is the daughter of Flaw and Heidi Ha. Upon graduation, Lucy plans to go to the University of Iowa to major in biology and minor in Spanish. Lucy Ha. Noah Hackbart. Noah is the son of Tim and Elma Hackbart. After high school, he plans to work, attend college to major in either theater or music, and get a job as a performer or actor in the future. Noah Hackbart. Sydney Houghton is the daughter of Chad and Kelly Houghton. After Sydney graduates, she plans to go to college for music and arts management. Sydney Houghton. Avery Hickox is the son of Gina and Chad Hickox. He plans to study biochemistry at the University of Northern Iowa after graduation. Avery Hickox. Bryce Jacobson. Bryce is the son of Andrea and Brent Jacobson. He plans to attend DMAC to study computer programming after high school. Bryce Jacobson. Maddie Kingston. Maddie is the daughter of William Kingston and Christy Butenhoff. After he graduates, Maddie plans to go to college to major in biology and ecology. Maddie Kingston. Marika Hisgen. Marika is the daughter of Kelly and Eric Hisgen. After graduation, she plans on attending college and will major in pre-med. Marika Hisgen. Avery Knobloch. Avery is the son of Heidi Vincent and Jared Vincent. Avery plans to attend Iowa State University and study biochemistry after high school. Avery Knobloch. Israel Hyundai. Israel is the son of Joshua and Margaret Hyundai. After he graduates, he plans to study graphic design and music production. Israel Hyundai. Lauren McCarville. Lauren is the daughter of Tom and Lisa McCarville. After high school, she plans to go to college and major in biochemistry on the pre-dental path. Lauren McCarville. Garrett Meyer. Garrett is the son of Gloria Meyer. He plans to go to DMAC and study computer science before transferring to Iowa State University to finish his degree. Garrett Meyer. Emily Mitchell. Emily is the daughter of Stephen and Jennifer Mitchell. After graduation, she hopes to go to Brigham Young University, Idaho, join the drum line, and study music and culinary arts. Emily Mitchell. Travis Moritz. Travis is the son of Paul and Eva Moritz. After high school, Travis plans to attend Iowa State University, majoring in engineering. Travis Moritz. Abby Nagel. Abby is the daughter of Joe Nagel and Chad Nagel. After she graduates, Abby plans to go to college and major in interior decorating. Abby Nagel. Tatum Newkirk. Tatum is the daughter of Angela Hess and James Newkirk. After graduation, Tatum plans to attend college at UMac, get a general arts and science degree, and plans to major in pharmaceuticals. Tatum Newkirk. Alex Noble. Alex is the daughter of Steve and Jill Noble. After high school, Alex is thinking about attending Iowa State University and joining the marching band. Alex Noble. Ben Polkovic. Ben is the son of Heidi Polkovic and David Polkovic. After high school, Ben plans to go to Iowa State University and major in electrical engineering. Ben Polkovic. Maddie Parker. Maddie is the daughter of Justin and Emily Parker. She plans to go to college and travel the world after she graduates. Maddie Parker. Josh Patterson. Josh is the son of Kevin and Lisa Patterson. After graduation, Josh plans to major in civil engineering at Iowa State University. Josh Patterson. Jocelyn Pasernich. Jocelyn is the daughter of Michael and Hava Pasernich. Jocelyn plans to pursue post-secondary education after high school. Jocelyn Pasernich. Cole Pollock is the son of Michelle and David Pollock. Upon graduation, he plans to go to South Dakota State University to study biology. Cole Pollock. Andrew Pope. Andrew is the son of Keith and Susie Pope. Andrew plans to study math and computer science in college after graduation. Andrew Pope. Grace Borak. Grace is the daughter of Matt and Emily Porat. After graduation, Grace plans to attend college to study social sciences. Grace Porat. Dylan Rouser. Dylan is the son of Melissa Rouser and Daryl Rouser. Dylan plans to study athletic sciences in college after graduation. Dylan Rouser. Haley Reimers. Haley is the daughter of Amy and Chris Reimers. After she graduates, Haley will be attending Iowa State University and will major in criminal justice and minor in speech. Haley Reimers. Amber Raysack. Amber is the daughter of Amanda and Joe Raysack. After graduation, Amber plans to go to college and study pre-med. Amber Raysack. Jocelyn Ridgway. Jocelyn is the daughter of Troy and Jennifer Rouse. Jocelyn will be attending college after high school, majoring in occupational therapy while participating in music programs. Jocelyn Ridgway. Amanda Ritland. Amanda is the daughter of Julie Ritland and Dave Ritland. She plans on attending Iowa State University to study veterinary medicine. Amanda Ritland. Grace Scott. Grace is the daughter of Dennis and Stacy Scott. After high school, she plans to go to Iowa State University and major in psychology. Grace Scott. Maya Sinclair. Maya is the daughter of Mike and Mary Sinclair. She plans to go to college to major in either music therapy or social work and minor in American Sign Language. Maya Sinclair. Emerson Taylor. Emerson is the daughter of Dan and Cherish Taylor. After high school, Emerson plans to attend college and study interior design. Emerson Taylor. Ellie Versteeg. Ellie is the daughter of Rob and Corey Versteeg. After graduation, Ellie plans to attend the University of Iowa, majoring in health and human physiology. Ellie Versteeg. Con Vin. Con is the daughter of Tahi and Chow Vin. She plans to attend four-year college, majoring in either modern language or music while participating in band. Con Vin.
I'd rather start high though.
Matthew Wells.
I really like to add.
Matthew is the son of Angie Krug and Tom Miller. After high school, Matthew plans to attend BMAC and then Iowa State University for Engineering. Matthew Wells. Carson Wetzel. Carson is the son of Roland and Cheryl Wetzel. She plans to attend BMAC and major in mechanical engineering. Carson Wetzel. Morgan Wheelhouse. Morgan is the daughter of Aaron Wheelhouse and Sean Wheelhouse. Morgan is attending the University of Iowa or Iowa State University to major in actuarial sciences and statistics. Morgan Wheelhouse.
Where's my sweatshirt? I gave it to Scott.
And Gabriel Hubrat. Gabriel is the son. Gabriel Hubrat is the son of Jules Green and David Hubrat. He plans to enter the pre-chiropractic program at Iowa University Fayette and then pursue his Doctor of Chiropractic degree. Gabriel Hubrat. Ladies and gentlemen, your band scene and their parents.
You guys were too quick in and out. You better set. Catch your breath.
Now let's meet your senior golf members and their parents. Ryan Allen. Ryan is the son of Casey Allen and Kelly Allen. After graduation, he plans to attend Grandview and study business. Ryan Allen. Ian Faree. Ian is the son of Phil Faree and Kate Faree. After high school, Ian plans to attend college. Ian Faree. Hunter Johnson. Hunter is the son of Lindsey Johnson and Scott Johnson. He plans to attend college and play golf after graduation. Hunter Johnson. Cole Mayfeld is the son of Lisa and Andy Mayfeld. Joey Newton. Joey is the son of Kristen and Steve Newton. After Joey graduates, he plans to attend a trade school. Joey Newton. Ty Roger. is the son of Gene Rogier and Jenny Rogier. After high school, Ty plans to attend Iowa State University and major in engineering. Ty Rogier. Will Shipley. Will is the son of Maria Decker and Darren Shipley. He plans to attend DMAC after graduation and major in architectural CAD. Will Shipley. Zach Steenken. Zach is the son of Brett and Julie Steenken. Zach plans to attend the University of Iowa after graduation and study business. Zach Steenken. Dylan Taylor. Dylan is the son of Eric Taylor and Colin Taylor. Dylan plans to go to Iowa State University after he graduates. Dylan Taylor. And Corbin Walker. Corbin is the son of Corey and Beth Walker. After graduation, Corbin plans to go to college and play golf. Corbin Walker.
Out in 2 seconds. And it wouldn't like focus. So the first one I got was super blurry, and then when I tried to get a second one, you were already gone. But I got some good ones of you standing down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we say give all of our seniors and their parents a round of applause. Congratulations and good luck with all your future endeavors.
Is this where you were wanting?
Congratulations to all of those seniors as they are introduced on senior night for both the band and cross country. So we have all sorts of things going on here. We've got homecoming tonight, we've got senior night, we've got victory gold jerseys, white jerseys, we've got a player coming back, we've got a pregame show that starts in just a matter of moments. You're watching high school football here on CISN.TV. Back in a moment with kickoff between Johnston and Ankeny.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola, SHOTTENKIRKFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola, SHOTTENKIRKFord.com.
It's a happy homecoming 2020, October 2nd. It is a crisp evening here on the north side of Ankeny. It is time for high school football on CISN.TV. We have the Ankeny Hawks 4-1 hosting the Johnston Dragons 3-2 in a game that will determine a lot when it comes to the postseason and finding out whose season is for real and whose season is headed in the opposite direction. Last week, Johnston thumped by Waukee 45-17. The Hawks of Ankeny beat Valley 35-10. Both teams looking to keep moving forward, and if you're the Ankeny Hawks, you're trying to find positive ground. And Tim Halber tonight, there's a little bit of assistance coming to the Ankeny Hawks by the name of Arlen Bruce. He was declared eligible by a review board this week, and he is in uniform. He has been taking part in pregame activities. We'll see if we see him tonight. But, hey, if we don't see him, the team that's coming on the field for Ankeny tonight, Tim, pretty good. Jace Bauer leads pretty much every offensive category in Class 4A.
Yes, in total touchdowns, touchdown pass, I think he has 19 touchdowns. I think he was third in total offense, in 4A. So it starts with him. He's got a lot of tools on there. They've been scoring points. They are, I believe, the top scoring team in 4A. So to add more tools to this team would be impressive. But they have some running backs, the wideouts, Brody Breck, so they are a talented offensive team.
Brody Brecht is the guy that gets a lot of attention, 6'4", 200-pound senior, headed to the University of Iowa to play both football and baseball. Let's give a lot of credit. Cade Summers at the other wide receiver and the tight end, Weston Folk. 3 wide receiver threats, and we haven't even talked about what Colin Kadolf could do from the running back position, and when they throw it to him out of a bubble screen or a regular screen.
I believe he's the leading receiver and total catches that. So you have that if you try to double up with the receivers, the wide out, the tight end, someone's going to be open. And Bauer, being a 3-year starter, has that ability to find the open guy. If not, he can run.
We are going to have the homecoming court introduced in just a little bit from Ankeny. We already know who the king and queen is, so we don't have the drama that we did last week. But we do have some drama going on the Johnston side, because this is a team, as Coach Brian Woodley told us this week, Tim, he's like, we got punched in the gut. And I said, if I had a word for the season, I have one. What's your word? He goes, well, what's yours? I said, roller coaster. He says, yeah, absolutely. They've been up, they've been down. They beat Dowling 18-15. A great football game if you're Johnston. They'd love to go back and replicate that. Dowling made some mistakes that night. Offensive line had some issues. Tight end, running back, they were struggling in a lot of factions of the game. It doesn't matter, Tim. As we sit here tonight, a win was a win. And now if you're Coach Woodley in this squad, you're trying to capitalize and find that mojo, get that swagger back.
Yeah, especially with the playoffs coming up in 2 weeks. So they want to go and find that, get the momentum back, because they were scoring well, playing well. He said they're a little banged up right now. They went to Waukee. It was a closer game than what the score indicated. Smith there for Waukee, we saw him here a couple weeks ago. Really talented receiver, kind of blew the game open for them. So he's trying to find that, get back in there, kind of get their mojo back in, try to find some continuity, not fall behind. He said if they're in a close game in the fourth quarter, they have a chance against this Ankeny Hawk team.
Jack Rutz, the quarterback, 6'2", 190-pound junior. If the name is familiar and you watched us last year, we saw Rutz against Centennial. He is a sophomore last season. He put on 30 to almost 40 pounds in this offseason, but part of the challenge, and there was going to be an entire new look to this Johnston team, new offense. They were starting to install it in the spring, and then everything got shut down. So they had to work on trying to instill this new offense remotely. That's a challenge, but it looks like Jack Rutz has come and answered that call.
Yeah, getting 30 pounds sounds like something we did during COVID once we went back home.
I might have kept him.
Yeah. No, he's a talent. He's a really good athlete. He also brings the big tight end Moore there as a Division I tight end in there. So he's got some – they'll use him a lot in different formations. They're going to get him the ball. He's going to be the focus point. But don't forget, don't sit on the running backs that they're a pass team only. It'd be interesting to kind of see how they handle a very aggressive Ankeny Hawks defense.
Carter Kriegel at the Z receiver, Vinny Cresta at the X receiver, but the Y, like Y Moore, Tyler Moore, the Iowa State verbal commitment. Every coach who I've talked to in the CIML says Tyler Moore is the real deal.
Yeah, he's got some size. He's got some weight on him. For a senior, he's 230. He's at 6'4", 6'5". So he's a load to bring down. We had a tight end last week, but he can really stretch the field. He can go to the sideline. He can go up the middle. He causes a problem for linebacker. He's a big guy to tackle in the open field. So, yeah, they're definitely going to get the ball to him.
Brady Hovey at a running back. You'll also see Blake Tubbs get the ball. Blake Tubbs, 46 carries, 102 yards. So those 46 carries are pretty tough. Downhill, nose. He's behind a lathered-up offensive lineman trying to get forward. Is that right? Did I use it right?
Yeah, they're not lathered up yet. I think once they get going and you look at it for the second half, when they start they're moving the defensive line around, they get a little lathered up. And then the running backs like to get lathered up with them, because then they're all kind of it's all going the same direction.
All right, defensively, let's talk about Johnston's defense, Tim. Jackson Muller, Ian Dolan up in that front area, but it's Cade Cannon off the left edge and Matt Thompson. You also see Noah Stortz. Stortz has been injured. Interested to see if we will see him this week, and if it is, he also played quarterback last year in this game, but this year he told coaches, hey, I want to go to defense. Coaches says, good, because that's where we needed you to go. Sometimes it's not about the best offense, it's where can that athlete contribute the most to the team, and Noah Stortz has done that for defense.
It's great when you have a defensive end that can go out there and he knows what the quarterback's looking at. He can read things a little bit quicker. So a defensive player that's played the offense, they have a better read ability on there. But we do not see him on the starting roster tonight. We'll see. I don't know if he's going to come back, how well he's doing. But they have some very good, very active linebackers, and I expect them to blitz a lot tonight, as Coach said, to kind of cause some problems for Bauer.
Aiden Moore is the will linebacker, 6'1", 205 senior, 40.5 tackles, leads the team. Cade Godwin, sound familiar? That was a Centennial kid last year. And JT Puck in the middle. Puck, not a lot of tackles, but when Moore is flying across the field, then you'll see Carter Kriegel, Will Scott, Trey Walker, and Caleb Helgeson, the senior. Helgeson, you're like, where have I heard that before? His father used to be an assistant coach at Centennial. Before that was at Ankeny. Now he's the defensive coordinator for Johnston. They've been working on him for years, getting him to come over. Coach Woodley got him finally last year. This year he's the defensive coordinator. I seem to remember a few Centennial shutouts of Ankeny in my memory. You think he's got some old plays?
Coach Nelson said, I expect him to dial it up. He knows what they like to do. They're going to come in. He goes, not so much. They'll blitz some. He goes, they use some, they call it spin techniques. We're going to see a lot of different formations. The defense is going to try to confuse that Ankeny offense. And we may see safety blitzes, may see corners coming off the edge. But they're going to definitely go and know the running game and read it and try to shut that down. Has
blitzing worked of the Ankeny offense? You ask for Dodge blitz 65% of the time. Valley 50% of the time. Ankeny won 52-18 against the Dodgers and 35-10 against Valley. Sometimes when you blitz, that leaves single coverage or somebody open on the edge, and it's hard to contain. Let's go back to the opening thing we talked about, Tim. Brecht, Volk, and Summers. Somebody's likely to be open.
And they all have some speed. And don't forget that actually Brady McCullough has been coming on as well, number 12. He's been out there. So they've got really a bevy of receivers. If the quarterback can get his feet set and get a quick release off, someone kind of gets that one-on-one and kind of takes a slant. I look for some big plays there. So if they challenge them on defense and if they can get the blocks in there, you're going to find a lot of one-on-ones, and that's when Ankeny scores points.
You can't have homecoming without a football game, and you can't have homecoming without a court. Let's meet them right now.
Let's meet Jace Bauer. Jace is the son of Jeff and Amy Bauer. Jace plans to play football during college, but is currently undecided on where he will attend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jace Bauer. Now let's meet Brody Brecht. Brody is the son of Aaron and Kelsey Brecht. After graduation, Brody plans to attend the University of Iowa to study business and play football and baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Brody Brecht. Now let's meet Weston Folk. Weston is the son of Nathan and Vicky Folk. After graduating, Weston plans to attend the University of Iowa and participate in baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, Weston Folk. Now let's meet Noah Hackbark. Noah is the son of Tim and Alma Hackbark. Next year, Noah plans to attend the University of Minnesota or the University of Northern Iowa to study either theater or political science, public administration. Ladies and gentlemen, Noah Hackbark. Now let's meet Megan Bosch. Megan is the daughter of Brad and Kelly Bosch. Megan plans to attend a 4-year university and major in speech pathology or special education. Ladies and gentlemen, Megan Bosch. Now let's meet Raylan Capdevilla. Raylan is the daughter of Lindsay Capdevilla. Raylan plans to attend the University of Iowa to major in human and health physiology. Raylan Capdevilla. Now let's meet Madeline Murphy. Madeline is the daughter of John and Sarah Murphy. After graduating, she plans to play softball at DMAC for 2 years and then transfer to a 4-year university. Madeline Murphy. Now let's meet Elena Stein. Elena is the daughter of Mary and David Stein. Elena plans to attend college in Iowa and focus on a career in the medical field. Elena Stein. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Ankeny High School homecoming king, Marcus Ugolini. Unfortunately, Marcus is unable to attend this evening. Standing in is Trent Franzen, your homecoming king, Marcus Ugolini. And ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise as we announce your 2020 Ankeny High School homecoming queen. Congratulations, Michaela Doyle. Michaela is the daughter of Bill and Margaret Doyle. After graduating, Michaela plans to attend the University of Minnesota or the University of Iowa to study actuarial sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, your homecoming queen, Michaela Doyle. Please remain standing and give all of our homecoming court a round of applause.
There is your homecoming court for 2020. We will now have the colors presented and the national anthem, and then we'll take a quick break and get you ready for kickoff between Ankeny and Johnston. They do have the coin toss. Johnston won the toss and deferred, so Ankeny will get the ball to start this game, which will kick off right around 7 o'clock, one of several games going around the area tonight, and we'll keep you updated on some of those other scores. Congratulations to all of our homecoming king and queen candidates, as well as the king and queen themselves. And now the three gentlemen who are playing football grab their helmets, head back into the locker room for their final instructions before they come out against Johnston. We'll have the band come out. The section leaders will play our national anthem, and we are getting ready for high school football here on this Friday night on CISN.TV. Jeff Brooks will be along with us in just a little bit from our sideline tonight. Tim Halper, I'm Paul Yeager. Glad to have you here with us tonight in this contest. It has been a chilly morning, turned into a pretty nice afternoon. 54 degrees is what our temperature is right now. The wind has died down to pretty much nothing. As the evening proceeds, we will drop our temperature just a little bit. We could be in the upper 40s by the time all is said and done, but as long as that wind stays away, Tim, I think we'll be all right. Yeah, we're saying that here because we're inside, not Jeff outside.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jeff's outside. That's right. No, it shouldn't affect the kicking game. Passing game should be nice. It's a little dry. We had a rain a couple weeks ago. So, no, it should be a really nice thing. For football players, you know, mid-40s to maybe 50 is a great temperature.
The colors are coming, the national anthem, and we'll take a break right after this.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Ordering groceries online from Hy-Vee is easy, and how I save time, especially during the holidays. For me, it doesn't get any better. Hey, I'll pass the rolls.
Oh, nice. Please pass the gravy.
I got you.
Oh, no.
I'll do it. Hy-Vee Aisles Online. We deliver to Mahomes and your home for the holidays.
Does anyone need a knife?
No.
Save thousands now at SHOTTENKIRK Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. SHOTTENKIRK Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Ankeny and Johnston getting ready for kickoff here at the top of the hour on CISN.TV. Last week, Ankeny had a 35-10 win over Valley. The week before, they knocked out Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson 68-0, 52-18 over Fort Dodge. Their last loss, and only of the season, was against Waukee, 21-17, and Waukee also gave Johnston a loss last week, 45-17. And Tim Halber, you talked about it briefly there just a few minutes ago. It was a game, I think Coach Woodley said 31-19, and it was 4th and 8. Waukee converts and then went down and scored. But he says at that point in the third quarter, we were feeling pretty comfortable. We get a stop, we get the ball back, we score. Becomes 35, say 26. It's a little different at that point. 31-26, that's only a score then at that point. But games can get away. It's just a matter of inches, or in that case, a yard. When they needed 8, they got 9.
Yeah, and we see that Waukee can, score quickly. So that's what and he referred to that this game, they're very similar teams here, that Ankeny can score like that. They can get out there, they can get first down, because they want to be able to control them. They don't want to get this into a shooting match. If they can keep, he said, if we can get within 7 points in the fourth quarter, if we're within a touchdown, we feel that we've got a really good chance to win this game, given how they coming in here as a visiting team.
If you're Johnston right now, Tim, what are you thinking about? What is key for you in winning this football game?
I think keep the plays in front of you. Don't let Jace Bauer take over the game. If you concentrate too much on the receivers, he's going to take off and run. He's got ability to pass the ball. He's very accurate when he passes. Keep it close. Get them frustrated. The one thing he said that Ankeny has not played 4 full quarters. So we can get them in the fourth quarter. They might get tired. They stalled. They had a big lead against Waukee and stalled. And Waukee scored several touchdowns with 8 minutes to go. So he's looking for a close game. They may get them wore down as the game goes on and make them play a full 4 quarters.
And that is something going forward. You don't win a state championship not playing 4 quarters. I'm not saying that Ankeny is guaranteed a state championship, but there's a lot of people around the state who look at Class 4A, look at Ankeny, look at Southeast Polk, look at Dowling, and go, those are probably the 3 best teams in Western Iowa. So if you're going to get it to the Dome, that would put you in the Unidome if the playoffs would work out. And the playoff picture did come a little bit into color focus this week, but still some gray area out there, Tim.
The playoff format is, they haven't announced the teams yet, but they're talking about how they're doing pods, and they're looking at 14 pods coming in. So normally we're looking at maybe 28 teams having a bye in that first round, just the way there's only 40 teams in 4A. So you're only looking at maybe about 8 games that first weekend and kind of going from there. So really, basically, most of the teams here that we see are ranked are probably going to get a bye, get a week off, and then get in that second week. And once you go from there, they'll start seeding, looking at districts and rankings after that. But the first 2 weeks are no rankings. They're looking at things more geographical. So we'll see how that all shakes out. They get a break in there, but playoffs are a whole different game, and we've seen some strange things happen.
It's games, win, win, and then reseed. Win, reseed again. So they'll have the first 2 rounds, and they'll redo the brackets for the next 2, and then redo for the semis. So the association is trying to get the best teams possible at the Unidome and in the finals. And if it just happens to be teams are 2 miles, 8 miles, 212 miles apart, they want the best game in the title.
A little more like they do for basketball season. So it looks like March Madness in October is what they're referring it to. As the first round is kind of what you have. I think they're going to have to kind of go geographically, get through the first round. But then that second round, that second set of weekends, we'll start looking at October 30th and the 6th. That's when they're seeded. We'll see how you're down to 16 teams at that point, the Sweet 16. Then it really starts to come into focus.
The Ankeny Hawks have emerged from the Northview Middle School gymnasium and locker room, and they're making the walk on the east side of the stadium. Coaches are about to head around the tunnel. Johnston is on the field, and they are in their road white uniforms. Get used to this uniform combo of white on white with purple and gold. The helmets are different. We'll see the same combo next week with Johnston or Indianola and Johnston. Ankeny tonight going with the Victory Gold, as Coach Nelson likes to call them. That is the gold uniforms with the maroon numbers, white helmets. They are making their way into the tunnel right now. The Victory video playing on the board. We'll hear the cheer, and then we'll bring in Jeff Brooks after the teams take the field, because we like to go to Jeff when there's as much yelling, hooping, and hollering as possible, because that's the way he likes it. He likes to be introduced with a big crowd. Ankeny tonight. One more home game after this one. They want to make this one special.
Nice home crowd here for Ankeny tonight. Student section, parents, So when you have this the social distancing, we find out it fills up the stadium nicely. And even a nice crowd over on the Johnston side.
Well, and there are some Ankeny fans that are on that far sideline. They were instructed, if I do see a few Ankeny shirts over on that far side, if you wanted more room, go over there. Both the cheerleaders and dance team are on either side of the huddle. Ladies and gentlemen, here come the 2020 Ankeny Hawks. How's that for an introduction? I'm looking at the flag, guys. He looks like he's going to run.
I smell smoke.
It's time to rise up. Make some noise. Here come your Hawks.
All right, Jeff Brooks, you're down on the sideline for this report. We've got a whole lot of storylines developing. Beautiful night, though, for high school football. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, it is a great night for football. Real quick, before I get into football stuff, though, I want to congratulate Coach Dave Bingham and 2 girls that were on the homecoming court that I've coached throughout my life, Madeline Murphy and Michaela Doyle, who's the queen. Congratulations, ladies. I love them both. Hey, on this football game, I'm looking forward to some fast action going on. Johnston, man, they got to stop that big play, and we'll see what Ankeny. I'm sure they're excited to be at home. Field conditions are awesome, no wind. You were talking about the weather. I'm in shorts. I'm going to try to make it the whole year in shorts. We'll see down here on the field.
Is that hashtag Jeff Goals?
Whatever.
Is that what we should do?
It might be Sarah Goals. We'll see. All right, so better half said go for it.
All right, very good. Thank you,
It'll be
Jeff.
fun tonight.
Jeff Brooks on the sideline tonight. We're going to see some good football. We got teams that can throw it. We got teams that can run the ball. Ankeny this year throwing the football has had 929 passing yards for Jace Bauer, and the team has rushed for just under 400 yards, 58 times and 400. Now, Johnston likes to be 50-50, and the stats, not quite there yet. Passing 62 of 122 for 836, rushing 29 carries for 105. And that's not 100% right, because I know that Tubbs has more carries, so that's just Jack Rutz's numbers, but it's a 50-50 balance, and how often do we talk about balance, Tim, being so important?
Especially early on, you're trying to establish, want to see how they are in the pass, how they react. Usually you throw some pass plays out if they're scripted to see how the defense reacts, or to kind of see where the areas are going to be. You want to get your running game going, kind of get something get knocked around, get the linemen kind of working on that. But as Coach said, that Moore is generally 50% of their offense. So he might run the ball a little bit. They're going to throw the ball to him. So look for him to be a critical part. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the first touch here. But we have Ankeny taking offense first here as they receive the kickoff.
Nick Nyron tees it up for Johnston back deep. Arlen Bruce in number 14 and Cade Summers in number 7 for Ankeny. The whistle blows, and it's 7 o'clock. It's time for high school football. That kick is high, and we're going to see Bruce very first play. He takes it at the 5. 15 makes a move. 20, 25. Escapes up to the 30, to the 31-yard line. Return of 24 yards. It'll be 1st and 10. Jace Bauer, Colin Kadolf, Cade Summers, Nate Nessa, new name from the last time we had the Hawks, transfer from Ballard. Weston Folk Brody backed up front. Justice Miller, Logan Curtis, Tyler Campbell, Anthony Espino, and Joe Kingston. Also getting out there is Brady McCullough. You see McCullough come near side. So as 3 receivers go to the left. And now Kadolf goes out. So it is an empty backfield on this very first play. They throw it to Kadolf. He takes it at the 30. Shoestrings his way out. Pushing him there is Will Scott. Also there, Trey Walker. Gain of 6 on that play, 2nd and 4.
Testing the linebackers, Adrian Moore out there as a linebacker. See how they line up when you got the running back lining up outside the hash marks. Where the linebackers go, does that open up the middle of the field?
Summers goes in motion. They give it to Kadolf up the middle. Colin puts his head down, hand down, and gets maybe a yard or 2 up to the 39. Again, Will Scott in there, as well as Matt Thompson for Johnston. Ankeny 50-50 so far. What will they do on 3rd and short? Seemingly playbook wide open. But you got to get that first down, and they go with Kadolf, and he is stopped short. Coming up and meeting him before the line of scrimmage, we talked about him, Noah Stortz. Stortz is healthy and is playing and made a difference on that play. Ankeny to punt.
They came in, they did a little twist move right on the inside, picked up the running back. So we may see spot moves by him coming in and playing, keeping him healthy, but right away an impact player coming in on defense.
Colin Riggs to punt. Back deep, Walker and Kriegel. Fair catch called for and taken at the 31-yard line by Carter Kriegel. And that'll bring the Johnston offense out for the first time. Jack Rutz at quarterback, Blake Tubbs, Brady Hovey, Vinny Cresta, Carter Kriegel, Tyler Moore. Up front, Tyler Kronlage, Gabe Christofferson, Jackson Muller, Leighton Tank, and Zach Summers. They go 6'2", 6'3", 6'1", 6'3", and a big 6'6" with Tyler Kronlage, number 77.
Got some size on the line.
Tubbs next to Rutz. They go with the run, first play, and a shot out of a cannon.
Who's that Manis guy? That Manis guy we caught?
We'd heard about him a time or two. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the Ankeny defense in the pregame show. Tamden Webb Tate, Bryce Peterson, Brecken Manis, and Jackson Penningroth. And specifically, I wanted to talk about Jackson Penningroth. He is a guy who is playing on a different level But the one that Coach wanted to talk about was number 20, Caleb Rachi. We'll see where Caleb from that safety position, what kind of an impact he makes. Passing play, pressure from Penningroth, and then hit as soon as he caught it was Moore. And it's almost like Ryan Crandall was the spy on Moore because Moore went nowhere.
Pendergrath come off the strong side linebacker on a blitz there and had the quarterback had Rutz backpedaling. It's hard to make a throw when you're backpedaling. Good speed. Pendergrath brings a lot of speed from that linebacker spot. Really good athlete. Really kind of anchors down that strong linebacker position.
3rd and 8 for Johnston. Rutz sends a man in motion. Fakes the jet sweep. Play action. Here comes the screen. They throw it, and there was nowhere to go. He threw it at his left tackle, Tyler Kronlage, because there was a whole lot of pressure coming. Tandem Webb Tate was there. Now, granted, Tim, we have not seen Ankeny play since week 1, way back in August. This is a different team defensively in that first series.
A lot of speed there on the outside. Tandem playing, they call it the buck position in the league. It's like an outside linebacker. He plays off the line a little bit, coming up there, causing a lot of pressure, making a very short pass.
Rutz gets it away. It's going to be bounced, and fire will be called. Bruce, no chance. Also back there was Brody Brecht. Kick will be downed at the 32-yard line, so we'll see. New offense. All right, so Jeff Brooks, you've seen both offenses go 3 and out, which means both defenses have gone 3 and out. What do you see early on, Jeff Brooks?
Oh. That's what I was just going to say. I saw both offenses, but what I really saw was both defenses. Boy, they're coming to play tonight, both defenses. We will see if Ankeny changes pace a little bit here and goes with a different trying to get the downs further up the field than they did, move it down the field than they did. So we'll see.
McCullough comes in tighter to the formation. They go with a handoff to Bruce. He gets around right side for about a yard before he's met in the middle. Cade Kennan, 6'2", 265-pound senior defensive end, 23 tackles, now 24 after a gain of 2.
Trying to get the wide out to pitch down on the linebacker. If you get that block, then he can bounce outside. Very active linebackers here for Johnston.
Bruce is in the backfield with Bauer. They look for the screen. Clock expires. Bauer's going to tuck it, run it, put his head down, deliver a shot, and get a first down. Coming up to make the tackle is Cade Godwin. Now that looked like a design pass that wasn't there, but we've also seen that play go as a design draw, quarterback draw. I think he was trying to pass it, and there wasn't anywhere to go.
I saw McCullough do a little hook in the middle there. I think he has one look, not open. I don't think McCullough was the receiver. I think the one he had a one look, covered, take off and run.
First down for the Hawks. Throw out to the far side, Brody Brecht. He was already past the line of scrimmage. It was already a forward pass. He looked downfield like he was going to throw a double pass.
Yeah. Corner playing way off out there, I think giving him a lot of respect. But if they don't tighten that up, they're going to see a long, long night for Johnston, because that's given up. He was running 10 yards before he was even touched. Then he got the tackle. So a little too much cushion there on the defense.
Gain of 14 for the Hawks. 1st and 10 up to the 43. Clock approaching 8 minutes here in the first quarter. Second offensive series. The ball gets away from Bauer. He collects. He's going to throw down towards the Johnston sideline, and not sure if that was a defense or an offensive coach he hit there. Incomplete. Neither one could make the connection.
The first down marker was open, but it never has very good hands.
No, it just stands there. It's got a great target. You can see it from everywhere, even this far away.
Yeah. Looks like he was locked in on Brody Brecht there, and he's looking there because he had receivers down here. I noticed that Cade Summers was wide open because they have the trips there on the right side. He may go back to that side of the field.
Bruce was over there as well, but he didn't like what the look was. So, again, looking that left side, they go Bruce. This almost looks like the same play, and he is going to be stood up and then escape one tackle, shake and bake for another one. He gets by him. This could be trouble. Down the 30. Cuts back again to the 20, inside near the 17-yard line. However, we have a hold against Ankeny. It's coming back.
I think he covered somewhere around 50-some yards on that play because he was clear over the far side. They came back, tremendous moves. I mean, broke a tackle, went there. But when you have that, when you're going against the grain like that, you tend to get a holding play because your linemen are out of position. Tremendous effort, though, by Bruce.
This crowd, you talked about him socially spaced, Tim. You could tell and hear there is, anytime he touches the ball, the air kind of comes out, and everybody's like, well, let's just see what this kid can do. And right there, I think we know. Now, the Arlen Bruce story is one that has been told in local media and as well as international sports circles. Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce tweeting on his behalf. We're seeing what Bruce can do, and it's Kadolf, the other guy in this equation. Now, here's the thing. These transfers, move-ins, whatever you want to call them, Tim, have done something. It depends on the program, depends on the opportunity and the time and how it mixes with the squad. You got a guy that comes in and you got an established player like a Colin Kadolf or maybe Reed Johnson, who's also going to get some time. You got to try to find people to get the touches to keep your flow, and who's been in that program for a number of years.
Yep. You want to find a balance for the guys that put the time in, but the guys know that if usually talent wins out, you got to appreciate some of that, what they can bring to your team.
McCullough comes in to the inside of the slot, and then Ankeny's going to have to take a timeout. They were down to 2 on the play clock. We'll step away. No score. 7:32 left to go first quarter.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Both offenses go 3 and out, which means so did the defenses, but now Ankeny has put together a little bit of a drive, and Tim Halber, Paul Yeager, Jeff Brooks back here. It has hit just a little bit of a snag. Johnston only 2 offensive yards. Ankeny 24 passing, 36 total, 12 rushing. So now at 3rd and 21, you can't be too cute. You got to get the ball all the way up to the 33-yard line. You got any 3rd and 21 plays in the playbook?
Well, watching Bruce out there, I would throw a short, let him catch it about 5 yards downfield. He'll probably take care of the remaining 15 yards for you. He does have that explosive, but that's one thing you have. You can send Breck deep, pull the safeties with him. Then you got Kadolf, you have Bruce, McCullough's in there as a good receiver, or even Cade Summers. You got some guys with some speed. They get the ball in an open area, maybe have something dragging across the middle that like Green Bay has made very famous in their offense.
Back with Bauer is Kadolf. Looks like the same play they had called the last time, and now they'll stack up with McCullough on that right side. Bauer throws, caught by the tight end Folk at the 50. He's got a lot of ground to cover, and he's going to come nowhere close. Cade Godwin, the tackle.
Is this 4-down territory, or do you it's on the 45?
Sure looks like it. The offense now is going to come off the field, and they'll punt it away. So now you'll try to pin back Johnston as Trey Walker and Carter Kriegel go back deep. They'll stand at the 10. Anything over their heads, you'd think they would let it bounce, let it go. They would Elsa it, let it go. Colin Riggs, the punt. High, great-looking kick. It's going to be fair caught right at the 10 by Kriegel. Right there covering for Ankeny was the linebacker, you guessed it, Brecken Manis.
And let's go back to that play, that little pass out to the tight end. Didn't get a first down, but what does it? It gained 10 yards. Brought them down to the other side of the 50, allowing that to have a full punt that puts it down the 10. So field possession gets important. So even though you don't make sometimes a 3rd down, get a first down, those kind of plays do help you in the field position game.
Jack Rutz will go under center. Ball sits at the 10-yard line. 90 yards to go for a touchdown. Handoff up the middle. Going forward that was Mason Marshall. That was Aiden Moore? I saw 20, not 29. Regardless, it doesn't go more than 3 yards. Forward movement.
See Timio in there, playing a defensive tackle coming in. Defensive tackle, defensive nose. I think I would call him the outside tackle, leaving up a lot of space there for Webb Tate.
It is Moore next to Rutz, and he'll get the handoff on second down, go up the middle, host of yellow shirts there. One of the guys, Nixon Timu, is the last off the pile because he was first one there. Also Webb Tate.
Looks like Johnston likes to use that. The size of their offensive line, you mentioned some size up there. They got some big guys. Look at, they want to get some of that offensive line moving that defensive line because they play that 3-4 defense. They can get their blocks on there, taking this at 3 and 4 yards at a time.
Now Moore goes from one side of the formation. They're going to run to the right with the other Moore, and Ankeny's there. Initially, it was Manis. Also in there to stop it up was Caleb Rachi. It's going to be short of the first down by
about a half a yard.
I say that's a half a football, and Johnson's going to punt it away, or at least bring in the punt team. Coming in to kick it away is Nick Nyron.
They're going to go back single back there. They're going to bring a rush on. They're going to contain defense.
They brought the heat. Good punt. Fair catch called for. Taken. Brody Bracht at the 45. So pretty much back where we were when we started this punt. That's Riggs punted it away at about the 40. So
something I'd watch. The snap's a little slow getting to the punter. It's a good snap. But Ankeny got quite a rush on there. Pendergrath was inches away from getting his paw on it. If they put that rush on again, we may see that come back later in the game when Johnston goes to punt.
Johnston only 9 yards of offense on that play. That makes 11 offensive yards in this first quarter. 5:22. Fresh set of downs. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bruce is next to Bauer for not much longer. They're sending him out on the bubble screen. Caught in the flat. Bruce makes a move left, and then he is quickly wrapped up and brought down. Caleb Helgeson comes up from the secondary spot. Helgeson, 14 and a half tackles on the season. Son of the defensive coordinator. Great athlete.
Good job with the Johnston defense going out there. They're shadowing Bruce when he comes out to the outside like that. They brought a safety over there, so really they had too many guys to block, really containing him for no gain.
Fake. They go McCullough, caught at the 50, still on his feet, gets close to the first down before he is tackled by Aiden Moore. McCullough's going to be about a yard short. Hawks had 3rd and 2 on the last drive. They got 3rd and 1 on this one. Will they get too cute, or are they just going to get the first down? Let's find out.
Quarterback draw.
Bruce gets it and the first down. He's popped, but not before he gets enough to move the chains. Aiden Moore is there also.
Puck's in there as well.
And Helgeson, yep.
Quick hitter there off the left guard. Just enough of a hole. Bruce doesn't need a very big hole to get up there and create his own yardage.
No huddle. Ankeny gets back up to the line as the clock moves towards 4 minutes. No score in this game. Quickly, McCullough caught out in the flat. He's up to the 45, down to the 35. Thompson as well as Aiden Moore combine on the tackle.
Coach talked about how proud he was of the work that Brady McCullough's putting in, that he's really become the unsung receiver. Brett gets a lot of the ink, even Cade Summers, but he's really been a productive player last few weeks, coming on very well.
Brecht and Kadolf in the backfield. Bauer, and it's a give to Colin Kadolf, who puts his head down. Aiden Moore is in there, imagine that. Also is Cade Godwin. I think we're going to see Colin Kadolf run the ball when he's in. They've thrown it out to him once, but
they haven't really set the tempo with that offensive line, that interior 5. They have no tight end, so they're going to do is try to move that line with the 5 linemen.
Again, 3rd and short. They go touch pass. Brody Brecht at the 30, tucks it away, spins his way down. Aiden Moore and Trey Walker tackle, but not before Brecht can get a first down to the 25. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Johnston defense was thinking the same thing, that Kadolfa's in there, that he must be going to get the ball in that 3rd and short. Great time to throw a little flare pass to your receiver.
Hard to get any pressure on Ankeny. We have a flag come in.
2 guys move. Yep.
Legal procedure will be called against Ankeny. So what I was going to say there right before the snap, Tim, is Bauer is not taking very long to get rid of that football. I mean, it is bang, bang, and it is gone, which means that's really hard for Johnston to try to get any type of pressure on him.
Yeah, it's hard to blitz when your quarterback's releasing the ball because you have to match up with your receivers.
First down and a few, and it's a handoff to Kadolf, and Aiden Moore doesn't make that tackle. I think Kadolf's in the end zone on a 30-yard touchdown
Yeah,
play.
the blocks were there, but that was a great play by the linebacker, pinching down and reading the running back.
New offensive and defensive coordinators for Johnston. And here in week 6, things look to be gelling for both of them. Kadolf up the middle. Kadolf drags the pile. All he can do is get to the 25. And he is brought down by Cade Kennan. So now this is an area Ankeny has not been much, Tim, and 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 right now.
I thought that Bauer might read. They brought a safety down there. The Bucs had a single safety over the top that he might have read that for a pass.
Bauer looks down the middle, goes to his second receiver who's open at the 5. It's Arlen Bruce, and it's a first down. Pick up to the 5, gain of 20.
Not bad for his first week out for football.
This new guy has a chance.
It's a lot of weapons for that defense to cover because they go trips to the left side.
First and goal from the 4. Kadolf to the right of Bauer. Summers, McCullough, and Brecht to the left side of the formation. Looking to the end zone, throwing it to the back flag. Brody Brecht is there. Touchdown, Ankeny Hawks. Brody Brecht, 4-yard score.
Really sweet play. They run trips out there to the left. Brody Brecht is the inside of the 3 receivers. He does out and in. The other 2 backs pull their receiver in. He's got a one-on-one to the corner, and with his height and speed, it's a foot race. It's a perfectly thrown pass by Bauer in the corner for the touchdown.
The flag route, they had the under route. Summers kind of cleared out, ran down towards the linebackers back to the middle of the field, and Brecht was running that flag, and that is exactly where Bauer put the ball. The extra point is up, and it is good. 7-0 Ankeny, 1:22 to play first quarter.
Godfather's Pizza's Autumn Feast. A medium specialty pizza, a medium pepperoni pizza, and my new caramel apple streusel with Twix candy pieces. Get yours today.
A little happy dance.
Get it. Get it.
Garlic butter bacon burger. Garlic butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger.
Junior garlic butter bacon burger. Get it. Get it.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. Without question, the COVID-19 pandemic created many disruptive changes in our lives. Some of us got sick, jobs and income were compromised, it was difficult to even spend time with family and friends. But one thing hasn't changed, and that's Westside Auto Pro's commitment to quality service, and that will never change. We're here to make sure you get maximum performance and reliability from your vehicle. So as we all move forward, keep Westside Auto Pros in mind. You've been through enough. We'll make sure your car is the least of your worries.
Brody Brecht found in the back corner by his quarterback, Jace Bauer, 7-0 Ankeny with the win. High kick taken by Folds, and Folds has got an arm tackle, and then he is ripped down and thrown back at the 15. And that'll be where Johnston starts their next drive of the game. Jeff Brooks is down on the sideline with this report. Jeff?
Yeah, I'm going to call that last drive a Hayden Fry drive, man. They just scratched and scratched where it itches, man. They just kept on this is there, that's there, and all the way down the field. No big plays, just get it done. So credit to Ankeny. Both defenses really look good, though, so we'll see how this one plays out.
I like Aiden Moore as a defensive player, Tim. He was everywhere. Let's see now what Johnston can do to counter. 1st and 10 from the 18. They go to the running back, Brady Hovey, and he is thrown down like a hog loose on a Tuesday night.
Bryce Peterson in there, got his big mitts around there. I'll say on that kickoff, I'll give credit to Ben Sandvig, sophomore coming down there, getting a tackle, really causing that play not to get any more yardage. So on a short kick, you always want to get your cover guys down there, so I want to make sure that he got noticed there. But no, good start to the defense, a 3-yard loss.
7-0. Johnston on the possession. Rutz calls for it, going to pass, throws. He's got a man down the far sideline, out of bounds. He was trying to get to to Cresta. And on coverage for Ankeny on that far sideline was
Cornwell.
Was that Will? Will
Yep.
Cornwell, yep.
Yep, played it well.
It'll be 3rd down.
We haven't seen the tight end, haven't seen Tyler Moore out there yet. They haven't focused on him. Need to kind of see if Ankeny's kind of doing an over-under on him, shadowing him, not giving him much room to get open.
Watch 82. He's on the near side of your screen. He's running right down the middle of the field. Rutz is going to have to tuck it, throws it off his back foot, and it is in and out. No interception there. Caleb Rachi was there, as was
Cooper Cox. Just let it go through his
Cox.
mitt. He sat there and did some push-ups like that's. I need to get those.
Brecht and Bruce go back deep. That's a combination that you could say for quite a while. The two to be teammates at the University of Iowa next fall.
The rush got close last time when they put 2 receivers back to receive the punt. They're really going into a punt return formation.
Still get a little bit of pressure up the middle. Nice punt. Fair catch called for and taken by Arlen Bruce at the 47-yard line. 7-0, Ankeny with 18 seconds to go in the first quarter. Offenses, scratch where it itches. I'm still thinking about what Jeff said there. That Ankeny offense, they've been big play, quick strike. That drive was deliberate, methodical, just right on down the field. And with 18 seconds here before quarter, the wind not a factor. So this play could be anything. On 1st down. Bauer in the gun. Sends Bruce in motion. They give it to him on the jet sweep up the middle. He just bowls over. And I got to tell you, Tim, there were a whole lot of yellow shirts, and the white ones were all going backwards.
There are 2 big blocks in there. One is Kadolf as a running back, and also the other one was by Weston Folk, the 2 tight ends. They were downfield blocking. That makes that play go from about a 3- and 4-yard gain to a 9-yard gain. So look at your skill position players getting their blocks.
1 quarter in, Ankeny leads 7-0 over Johnston. This is high school football on CISN.TV.
Obsessively, relentlessly. That's what you can always expect, even when faced with the unexpected. It's a service we take seriously, providing comfort in the rain, tools to help you save, a helping hand along the way, and from a safe distance away. Delivering the energy you need while going the extra mile. Regardless of the times, our team remains committed to you.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
113-8. That is the yardage difference between Ankeny and Johnston. The Hawks, 83 passing, 30 rushing for a total of 113. Johnston 2 passing, 6 rushing for a total of 8. Here our score, 7-0. Ankeny leads Johnston. Paul Yeager, Tim Halbert, Jeff Brooks. We are at Ankeny Stadium, and the Hawks lead by a touchdown. And, Tim, I don't know if a stat says much more. That, to me, is lopsided. It doesn't feel – it feels like a 7-0 game. But the stats are trying to tell us something different.
Well, Ankeny's been playing on the short side of the 50 here most of the first quarter, and now starting the second quarter. So they've been playing downhill quite a bit.
Second and short, up the middle. Colin Kadolf's got all kinds of space to run. He's going to go down the middle of the end zone and score a touchdown. I don't even know if he got his jersey dirty on that one. Nobody touched him, it seemed.
And that's what happens when you have skilled players out there. You start playing wide, from sideline to sideline. It pulls the linebackers out to match up with some of the wideouts. When it creates that, there's a big hole there in the middle. Good blocking for that offensive line. He popped it, and once he got that linebacker level, he wasn't going to get stopped.
43 yards, Colin Kadolf. Why have one good back when you can have two? On to attempt the extra point. Max Pelham out of the hole to Carson Riggs. Kick is good. Ankeny 14, Johnston 0. This is CISN.TV.
In Iowa, we grow corn. But to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace.
Colin Kadolf on the handoff right up the middle. He's on the Ankeny bench right there, getting a much-needed breather. I'd be breathing hard, too, on a 43-yard sprint like that up the middle.
I'd still be running 43 yards.
They time you with a sundial, too?
Yeah. Coach says, you're a lineman.
Oh, Ankeny 14, Johnston 0, 11:52 to play, second quarter. The kick is going to go into the end zone and will not be returned by Johnson. So the good news for the Dragons, they're actually going to be starting on the 20, better field position they have in the last two possessions. Jeff Brooks is down on those sidelines. Are you regretting those shorts yet there, Jeff?
Not one bit. It is lovely down here. Hey, I love watching Kadolf run. He just, and that offensive line blocking for him, it was really nice. Credit to Johnson's defense. So they have done a good job against Ankeny. Got to stop those explosive plays. Offense needs to get going here for Johnston.
Jack Rutz in the gun. Read option goes to his running back, and trying to get any yardage is Blake Tubbs, and that is a hard yard, maybe two. Cooper Cox, the tackle. Also Tamden Webb Tate.
With the defensive line, we mentioned it's a 3-4 defense. The very, very active linebackers, when they get up there, it looks like a five-man front. That's how active their linebackers are, pitching everything down. So it makes there's not much running room. The running backs they're getting hit by the time they hit the line of the scrimmage.
Moore goes to the left side of the formation. Rutz with Tubbs next to him. Here comes the jet sweep. They go on the far side with Mason Cornwell, and Mason's going to get up near the 25, but no further. Caleb Rachi in on the tackle. You know, I had to look at my notes from Coach Nelson this week, and one of the very first things he wanted to talk about was Caleb Rachi. He says, Caleb has just been outstanding. He said, he played last year for us, but he says this year he has been pretty much everything we've wanted and more, and just said he has been a key part of that defense. Put on some weight, the wrestler. Here comes the blitz from the edge. They go to Moore across the middle. Rachi's there, but first one in on the legs was...
Looks like Crandall was in
That
there.
was Ryan Crandall, number 6. Yep.
Good tackle for safety. So Tenney goes out there, just does a little hook, gets downfield just enough to get the first down. Big target out there. I think that's his. Is that his first catch?
Yeah.
Of the game.
Yeah.
So we may see them using him more, no pun intended, on this drive to kind of free things out to get more short yardage situations.
It's only the second completion for Johnston for passing this game. Rutz with time. Now the clock expires. He's on the run, throws down the field, and it's picked off. Picked off by Cooper Cox. Penalty comes in. Cox is still on his feet. Another flag comes in. Doesn't matter where Cooper Cox goes, and he's going to get inside the 10. This thing's coming back somewhere around the 45. There are 2 penalty flags.
I think the first one was a block in the back here right around the 50-yard line because Cooper Cox took off perpendicular, and that's usually get that blind side. It doesn't take much of a hit. It looked worse than it was, but if you don't have the hat in front of the guy, they're going to throw the flag every time. So that's the first penalty. I don't know if 2 officials saw the same play.
Personal foul on Ankeny. So they'll mark that off. The flag's back at the 44. So then instead of being on the north side of the field, it'll go to the south, down the 39. But that interception looked like a video game there with Cooper Cox.
Yeah. He covered about 90 yards.
B-A, jump, A-A, B-B-B, XX, JJJ.
But still heads up play. They flushed the quarterback out, forcing him to roll out to his right. When you're throwing the run, take a little bit off, it's not quite as accurate.
Bauer and company back on the field for the offense. Arlen Bruce, the handoff. Dances left and goes back up the middle. Going along for the ride and making the tackle is Cade Kennan. 14-0, clock rolling, 9.5 to play, second quarter. Ankeny scored in the first quarter on a Brecht touchdown pass reception, and then a run of 43 yards by Colin Kadolf. Now play action right up the middle. Brody Brecht makes a spin move. Gets inside the 40, and that's enough for a first down. Tackling is Caleb Helgeson. One thing about Brecht, and I think we've talked about this before, he does keep that ball out there just a little bit from his body.
The next level is going to teach him how to get that ball tucked away really tight, because that level of play there, that would be swatted away pretty fast.
And then you're in the Ferentz doghouse. Bruce, the handoff. Goes out, cuts back in. Great form tackle. Right up the middle, the 2 linebackers, Godwin and Puck. Second down after a gain of 5.
See if we get a read here. I'm not sure if the defense is trying to play man up. With the speed here, sometimes it's better to go with the zone defense. Bring the linebacker out there, Cade Godwin out there, linebacker, pulling him away from that interior line.
Brecht in motion, gets right behind Summers. They give it to Bruce. Bruce is tackled near the first down. Again, Cade Kennan. That guy's everywhere. It'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, Kennan's sliding down to a defensive tackle position because Noah Stortz is in there. See him, he's flip-flopping. I've seen him play there at the left end. Now he's coming back here on the right end, trying to change up some of the blocking assignments and see if they can get a different read. They get a slip play to get a rush on the quarterback, because Bauer really has not been pressured much for the quarterback position, so he's been pretty free to pick an open man.
Well, he hasn't kept the ball very long. Bruce goes in motion, quarterback draw. Bauer gets it. Aiden Moore, the initial hit. Finishing him off is J.T. Puck. Move the chains for the Hawks. 7:32 left in the half. Coming up at halftime, we're going to be talking cross country. Eric Klingensmith and John Lindemann, the girls and boys coach. Pretty good story out of the girls cross country team we'll talk about at halftime tonight. Bauer, handoff, Bruce. Cuts back against the grain, finds another level, shakes and bakes before Thompson has to pull him down inside the 15 all the way down to the 12. You think he's enjoying tonight? Bruce, that is?
Yes, getting him it's nice to have two running backs out there, but he does have another gear that when you go to tackle him, all of a sudden he slips, makes a cut. That's what the coach talked about. He has great cutting ability, and he's gone.
Bauer and Bruce, they go Bruce. Bruce cuts in, then goes back out, and then he is met by a host of Johnston tacklers. William Scott, Aiden Moore, and Trey Walker there. Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11.
Thompson did a nice job there, the defensive end position, stretching that play out, not letting him give much of a lane to get cut up. He had to bounce it outside, which created some more players to come over there and corral him.
Hawks can still get a first down on the drive. They do a little shuffling with McCullough, Summers, and there's going to be a timeout. I think Ankeny had a little too much movement and maybe not exactly sure what they're doing. We'll step away. Hawks lead 14-0.
That garlic butter is something else. It's like the garlic butter showed up to the party first, and then he called the bacon and was like, dude, you got to get down here. And then the bacon showed up, and now everybody's having a good time.
Junior garlic butter bacon burger.
Focus. To define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
Hawks take the timeout, and they try to adjust, leading 14-0, 6:09 to play here in the half. This has been the series and the drive, Tim Halber, of Arlen Bruce.
Yes, I have. I think it's a good chance to see what he has, get some carries on him. I don't know if they got him lathered up yet or not, but he sure is doing a great job. What he does, he creates a lot of mismatch. The defense has to stay focused on him, slows your linebackers down because you got to know where he's at. Now what that does for your receiver, especially down here, like they did that first touchdown, they got into man-to-man coverage, and you can kind of run that rub. You can run that flag route and take a guy with you. So it creates a lot of pressure on the defense. Another skill position player like that.
Out of the timeout, Hawks will have it 2nd and 11. The last play, Bruce lost a yard. 3 receivers, Brecht, Summers, and McCullough on the right side or top of your screen. Colin Kadolf is next to Bauer. Brecht goes in motion, and Brecht moved forward, or did we have a delay?
I think he might move forward.
Yep, he moved forward.
Yep.
You can do that in arena football.
Yeah.
Remember arena football? You can't do that in this football.
Or the Canadian League. You can have one guy flying to the line of scrimmage as long as he doesn't cross it. But I don't think we're northern United States. We're not that close to Canada. But usually receivers are looking at the ball, then they take off. But he has to go off the sound, and then he took off one step too soon.
Back in is almost looks like the same play. Bauer is flushed. He's going to tuck, and Cannon got his feet back at the 17, but Bauer falls forward before Aiden Moore makes the tackle to the 14, which is not yet the original line of scrimmage. So what was 2nd and 11 is now 3rd and 13 after the penalty and then the move forward. So Kadolf back in. Brecht left, Folk tight. Summers, who we haven't seen much of, but look for Cade on this play. Just when you say you haven't seen him, just like Moore for the offense for Johnston. Play clock at 9.
The time we use your tight end.
Folk is there for a moment. Bauer, flushed. Got a lot of time, looking for a receiver. He's not going to get there. Great play. Coming in, JT Puck chases him down, and the Hawks are going to have to settle for a field goal attempt with 5:11 here in the second.
Good rush by Noah Storts on the outside, flushing the Bauer to the outside, making him run. shortening the field when you run to the side like that, instead of having a 50-yard wide field, you have basically about a 15, 20-yard wide field, nothing open, Tuckett to run, preventing him from getting the first down.
In is Pelham. Max will line up. Ball will be placed at the 21 to make it a 31-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is no good, wide left. So Johnston will get the ball on the turnover. Our referee, Mike Morrison, turns around and says no good. He's joined tonight by Gerald Bohay, Russ Dempster, Jeff Bunting, and Sean Osland. Your crew for tonight's game, which is at Northview Middle School, Ankeny Stadium. On this, the second day of October, the Ankeny Hawks did not play a home game in this stadium in the month of September.
Pelham's got a nice leg. I think it's good to have that field goal try because you may need that when you get down into the playoffs. He's got the distance. He kind of explodes in there. And when you're going off that left or the right hashtag, you tend to pull it.
Rutz calls it out, gives it to Tubbs. Tubbs, great move. He's got a seam up the middle. Rachi pops him, and then coming in to help is Webb Tate. Great run there by Blake Tubbs, the sophomore. Blink and move the chains. That's one of the first downs for Johnson in quite some time.
Still a lot of time left of the game. Good blocking up there by Christofferson on that left side. Also tight end Moore. Moore's, I've watched him. He's a good blocking tight end.
Blocking on this play. Now he releases on the screen. He's hit once, then twice, and still falls forward. His first initial contact was back at the 30. He's going to go all the way to the 38-yard line. That is the sign, Tim, of an athlete who's going to play at the next level.
Bryce thought he had a red. He said, you saw the screen out there. He's shadowing the tight end, went out there, did a tackle, hit that big leg of his, broke the tackle, and he gained another 5 yards. So good target. I thought we start seeing more of him like this. You're looking at these screens and little flares.
Rutz play action, and he goes to Moore on the slant. Incomplete on the coverage was Jackson Penningroth. And all Jackson could do was just try to not let him get any more yardage if that would have been complete, because that was such a good route. That slant is tough to defend. Moore is to the near side of the formation off the line. Play clock at 15 as Rutz looks, checks the wrist, calls out a new one. Hovey goes in motion, back to the other side of the formation. High snap, they go Tubbs up the middle. They check into a run, and they check into a play that goes nowhere.
Seems was read really well there on the defense. I'm trying to see who's in there on the defensive end side, but he read that really well. Looks like it's you got Sean Gavin in there at defensive end. Pinching down, there was no room for that running play to go. So now it brings up a 4th down and 3. It looks like the punt team's coming on, but good read by the defense there, pinching down and causing no lanes.
Braden Simonson and Jackson Penningroth were also in there. Simonson we haven't said much about, but he's been there quite a bit. You just forget how tall Simonson is until you look at him standing next to his teammates. Got a whistle before the snap. And if it is on Ankeny, it's a 5-yard penalty, and it is offside on Ankeny. So now Johnson's offense will come back out onto the field. There's 2 things that will drive coaches nuts that we've seen here tonight. One, almost having to call a timeout or a busted play out of a timeout, and then an offsides on less than 4th and 5.
I can hear Coach Nelson up here.
Well, can't say those words.
Mental mistakes like that, you can't have it on a team that's good. Just looks like it was a little bit offside move there. But now Johnston's got this best field position they've had the whole game.
Tubbs gets the handoff. The ends come in and pinch around the side. You'd mentioned Sean Gavin.
He's been playing more. He's in there with Simonson. They've been getting in there, keeping the guys fresh. These are juniors, getting them some playing time in there. They when they get out there, they make some good plays, which you want to see.
Nick Nelson defensive coordinator, I see, signing in some plays. 2nd down and 10. Coming near side, Cresta. Yet to see him have the ball other than a reception. They throw at him. He falls down on the route. He doesn't fall down. That's a completion and maybe a lot more. Cooper Cox on the coverage. Also in the area, Brecken Manis.
Cresta had the inside shoulder leverage in there, just lost his footing. Luckily, when you lose your footing like that, sometimes it creates where the defensive back can make an interception. So, 3rd and long. See if they want to dial up some pressure.
Looks like on the edge, the Hawks have Webb Tate. He's trying to put pressure on. They go back behind. That was open for Cresta. He got behind Will Cornwell. I don't know if that was a missed coverage or what, but that was open.
Yeah, good rush there by Pendergrath, from the left side, getting up there, applying pressure. Not letting him get his feet set and getting accurate pass. But the receiver had his hands in the ball. That would have been a big 1st down on the 3rd and long.
The Iowa Corn halftime report. Coming up we'll talk cross country and more. Slow snap. Yeah, I was going to say, he might have fielded it back at the 30. That's not a penalty. He's just down.
Do you have a knee down?
I think the punter, Nick Nyron went down to a knee to get it, but I didn't know if he had popped up off the knee before he had taken the football. But the official, who's standing a whole lot closer, Jeff Brooks, is down there. Maybe he saw something different, Jeff. But I thought maybe he got back up in time. What'd you see?
No, I walked down to see the punt return, so I did not get a good look at that. But certainly I would say that with that snap and how it was handled, I'm sure he was probably down.
Snaps have been troublesome for Johnston. And now Ankeny, Tim, will have a short field, 31 yards to go. Ball at the 31. Lots of time, 1:48. Kadolf off right, slides through. Clock moving 8 and more, the initial tackle, or initial contact. Will Scott there to finish off, and you guessed it, Cade Kennan.
Hickey goes in. They have 1 timeout left for this half. They have plenty of time for this 30-yard drive.
Bauer, little pressure, tipped, caught by McCullough. Spun around like a top, still caught that ball. Bauer was on the homecoming court. It was announced that he wants to play football at the next level. He is yet to commit. He's making a great case that he should get some looks at some significant schools. Bauer throws across the middle to a slant. McCullough caught at the 5. Down to the 3-yard line. Trey Walker, this tackle to save us touchdown. Clock at 1:05 for the moment. 1st and goal, Ankeny.
No need to hurry here. You're down there. You got a 1st and goal. You could run 3 plays easy here with this much time. They look to the sideline to pick up their play.
Summers and McCullough to the right. Kadolf is to the right side of Bauer. Now they send him in motion. Quarterback draw, and Johnston knew it. They smelled that play. Let's see, and there's a new name. We haven't said much about Ian Dolan. Timeout, Ankeny. Ian Dolan was there.
It's like Storch was in there as well, so he's an impact player. But as the season began, I thought that Bauer and Rubley, to me, preseason, I thought were the top 2 quarterbacks in 4A, and Bauer really has proven that he's got those skills. He's got a lot of mid-major offers out there, sitting out there, and I know that Iowa State has shown some interest here as of late. He does bring that size. I think the last time we saw a quarterback of this size at this level probably was, I'm trying to think of, what's his name?
Joel Lanning?
Joel Lanning, yeah. The guy that could play the running back, linebacker that could play quarterback.
The last time the Ankeny Hawks won the state title was Joel Lanning. That was the year before the split from 1 school into 2. Here, Ankeny, 232 yards of offense, 27 for Johnston. they're balanced, 15 passing, 12 rushing. They just got to have more than 27 yards.
No timeouts. So I'd imagine they have 2 plays in mind here, so they don't make it here. They can line up and then do a read.
Probably going to pass at least on one of these. Bauer with time, flushed, runs near side. He's going to put his head down. He's going to be well short. Clock is going to move 30 seconds. They got lots of time. It's only 3rd down, so the Hawks can get one more play.
They'll have to pass it here so the clock can stop if they need to come on and do a field goal.
Hawks are set. Bauer goes back up under the middle. Colin Kadolf into the end zone. Touchdown. You don't need to pass it when you can give it to Colin Kadolf. His 2nd score of the half.
That's confidence in your running game when you know that, hey, they're going to pass, and they hand the ball off. He runs on a 4-yard touchdown run. So great drive for them off the miscue on the punt return or the punt team of Johnston. So very efficient to get down with only 12 seconds to play.
Pelham on to attempt the extra point. Kick is good. Ankeny 21, Johnston 0. 12 seconds when we come back. This is high school football on CISN.TV.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola, SHOTTENKIRKFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience. One customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola, SHOTTENKIRKFord.com.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
That moon is coming up over the east side of the stands, and had a chance to see it last night. It was incredible. There's our camera crew getting it tonight. Thank you, gentlemen. The kick from Pelham is going to be taken at the 1-yard line by Johnston. That's Tubbs. He's on his feet at the 20, gets out of bounds at about the 24. 5 seconds, Johnson. All they can do is pretty much kneel it unless they want to make a risky play, but I think they'll just take a knee and go in down 3 scores. Jeff Brooks will chase down both coaches, get some comments from them, find out what they thought about that first half from a socially distanced approach. Johnson will take a knee as they're in that formation. And taking the snap, stepping down, is Jack Rutz. Ankeny leads 21-0 at halftime. It was a lot of offensive yards for Ankeny, but only 3 touchdowns to show. But right now, Tim, it feels like a little more than 3 touchdown lead for the Hawks.
Looking at the yardage, also there's a couple mistakes there. There was the kneeling on the punt. It could be a closer game given that they're for yardage, but the interception, the down punt, but Ankeny seems to be playing on about a 50-yard field this whole first half.
Yep, we'll take a break. The Iowa Corn halftime report. Eric Klingensmith and John Lindeman will talk cross country. You're going to want to watch that one. This is high school football on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jazz.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best Sunday sports coverage around.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Junior garlic
Excited.
bacon butter.
I'm excited.
Junior garlic
I'm excited.
butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger.
I just want it right.
In Iowa, we grow corn. But to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Last night, a cross-country meet, one of those rare events. A few teams were there over at Southeast Polk. Joining us now to talk is the boys and girls coach, Eric Klingensmith and John Linneman. Gentlemen, good to see you both.
Good morning.
And Coach Klingensmith, we'll start with you. The girls, this is like a year like any other. I happen to see a story about your team, and you're out there practicing in the mask. How have the girls adjusted to all of that?
They adjusted really well. It's not comfortable, but we just make sure that they stay in their pods and keep the masks on during the warm-ups, and then after that, when we go for the actual runs and things, they've got to take them off because you can't breathe running that fast and trying to get oxygen in. It kind of doesn't help. So, but they've been very good and about wearing them when they're supposed to, and it's been nice to see the easy transition for them at least.
Coach Lindeman, the boys have been doing the same thing. You have those pods. I know it's, I was talking to the Centennial coaches, and I know kind of how your guys' culture, both boys and girls, is. It's kind of been a little challenge to try to develop what you've liked to do over the years. Is that right?
Absolutely. We've had to, I feel like the kids have been hungry to come out and participate. Even through the summer, we had some great numbers of kids showing up to turn out to run. And I feel like sometimes we've had to trim some of the fun stuff, some of the games and gatherings and some of those different things we've had to do. So, and I know Coach Klingensmith and myself, we both believe in, creating a fun family atmosphere with our kids and kind of getting those team bonds together. And it's been a lot more challenging doing that this year. That's probably been the biggest challenge. But in terms of having the kids step up and do what they need to ensure we had a season, they've been spot on. They've done everything we've asked them to do and then some. So we've been really proud of them for that.
You had the varsity run last night at Southeast Polk. Cale Cox, you kind of knew was going to be one of your top runners, and Truman Patterson was second on your team, Andrew Polk, and then Christian Rachi. But a freshman, Jake Bosch, played football last year, and you didn't even have him in 8th grade cross country, comes out and surprising a couple of people.
Absolutely. There's definitely some running in the family, in the Bosch family, and Jake is no exception. And he's bought into what the upperclassmen have kind of been helping him do and how to get to a point where he can be successful. And he just kind of has no fear, and he goes out and competes really hard every time he gets an opportunity. So, he's had some races where he's gone out and tried some different things, and he's experimented with some different races, and I think he's really starting to figure out how he can be his best. So that's exciting for us.
Well, a freshman is sometimes a surprise, but usually, Coach, you don't get a surprise at a senior that comes out and starts running her first few races. Lauren McMahon, she's all the talk in the racing community of who is this girl? Where did she come from? I heard you on the news the other night talking about that story. You had the app and you kind of had a sense, but when you got to actually see her in person, what type of a runner is Lauren McMahon?
Just seeing her for the first time, she has the build of a runner. You can just look at her and see that she's strong, and she has the physique of a runner. It wasn't really until I got to know her a little bit more that I was talking to her and then watching her in her first race. Like I said, you can see her kind of flip a switch and just get into really a focused mode. And she's a competitor. And I think that her playing soccer all those years really helped with that competitive nature. And it really flourished and came out in this cross country season. And like I said, she didn't even know she liked running until this spring when she couldn't play soccer, which is awesome to hear when she tried that out as a side sport. And now it's become like a great sport for her. And she's got plenty of opportunities as a result of that.
So she's, you thought you were going to have some returners. I mean, Talia Dosh has done well in the past for you, and Jenna Pitts is a sophomore. And who else has been running well for you?
Marika Kiskin's been running really great for us this year. She has stepped up and stepped into a great role as far as pushing herself in practice and then competing very well in each of the races. She is, she was a spot on to do really well last year in track too. But we didn't have that season, so now she's taken all that energy and put it into this season. And then we've got a sophomore, Paige Beeson, who has really stepped up, and she's become our number 5 runner consistently and scoring those points for us and getting into positions to where she can really help us out when it comes into this postseason.
Coach Lindemann last night at Southeast Polk, a pretty good team finish. How do you feel the guys did last night?
Well, we certainly took a step in the right direction last night, but there's a lot of teams. I'm going to say the 12 through 15 teams, we're all separated by, just a couple of points. So really, when we get those 4 or 5 teams racing, anything can happen. So I think our guys realize that. I think our guys know how close it is, and we don't have a huge margin for error, and we got to go out and, if there's a guy just ahead of them, we got to make sure we put that little bit of effort in to make sure we get them, because we lost to Valley by 1 point last night. And I think they all feel that a little bit, and we'll be using that as motivation moving forward. Certainly.
That whole coach thing where they say one more place really truly does make a difference.
It really does. But on the flip side, we beat Southeast Polk by 1 point. So like I said, there's about 5 teams that are all pretty tight right there. So
give me some of the other guys on your team. I know I kind of ran over some names, but who's been running well for you?
Going into this season, we had a lot of kids over the spring months that put a lot of time and work into getting better, and that really showed this season. We're a pretty deep team. We've got 10 to 12 guys that are all battling for our varsity spot. So when we whittle it down to 7 kids, it's going to be a tough decision. And like I said, we got a number of kids, and we're pretty deep with those kids. So I think our top 5 or 6 or 7 are starting to really emerge. I know London Schuhart was another kid that you didn't mention that's really coming on strong. Levi Hill works extremely hard and is really locked into becoming a better runner. So, those 2 guys and Paul Erridge, in addition to the guys that you mentioned, are also going to be doing some great things. Anders Peterson is another one, and Michael Hayden. So all those guys, we've got about 12 of them. They're all right there.
I like to put everybody on the spot, see how many names they can get in there at the last minute.
And I apologize if I left somebody out.
Coach Klingensmith, I'll finish with you here. Coming up to districts, I mean, what's kind of the focus as you come to that home stretch?
Well, our focus is just going to be just keep doing what we're doing and keep raising our strategies that we're raising. No matter where we get put up, we know that depending on the rankings, it's going to determine kind of where we sit in that race. But it could be a dogfight for us, or it could be where we are able to get through it in a decent manner. So we're just going to take the race by race strategy and just focus on one at a time. We got Fort Dodge next week, and Lauren's going to get another shot at Erzin from Carlisle again. She was 6 seconds off her last night, and she's hungry to go after her this time. So it's going to be kind of nice to see that race. And our girls are also, Dowling just scraped by us last night with 8 points, and we want to make sure that we return the favor next week at Fort Dodge and see how much closer we can get to Southeast Polk too.
All right, go Bearcats.
Yeah, go Bearcats.
Go Dodge. Got to say that too. I can't let that. That's really hard for me to say, but we have to be professional. Eric Klingensmith, head coach of the girls cross country. John Lindemann, head coach of boys cross country at Ankeny. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, the Iowa Corn halftime report continues after this.
focus, to define what is most important and commit yourself fully. It's why at Fairway, only the best meat makes the cut. Our fresh fish is full of flavor, and our produce is picked with incredible care. It's why we have fewer aisles, greater savings, and the most personal service. At Fairway, our focus is and always will be giving you the best in meat and grocery.
At MidAmerican Energy, we put our energy into making communities stronger, safer, and ready for the future. We support STEM education and community safety, special events, and economic development activities. We energize our cities and towns just like we have for decades, all to help make your community the place where you want to build your business, your legacy, and your life. It's another way we're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
You can buy a new Ford at any Ford dealer. Why do people buy from SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola? We understand you have choices. We're willing to re-earn your business every time you visit us. SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola, SHOTTENKIRKFord.com. We create an exceptional customer experience, one customer at a time, every time. We never compromise. Trust, integrity, honesty, hard work. Let us show you why people drive to Indianola to buy Fords. SHOTTENKIRK Ford Indianola, SHOTTENKIRKFord.com.
In Iowa, we grow corn, but to us, corn is more than a cash crop. It's part of who we are. Corn supports our livestock, helping our animals thrive. Corn fuels us. Ethanol powers our state as we push towards a clean, burning future. Corn nourishes us. It gives us an abundance of good food that nourishes our families, helps our student athletes grow stronger. In Iowa, we grow corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
Welcome back to the Iowa Corn Halftime Report. Remember, Iowa Corn is more than just corn. It's Iowa. And we have a pretty good Iowa high school football game tonight. Ankeny leads Johnston 21-0. And I got to tell you, Tim, I got a lot of people. Well, that's Tim Halber. I'm Paul Yeager. Jeff Brooks will be along momentarily. We'll check in with him with his sideline reports as he's checking in with the head coaches. So let's look at the stats. I got to tell you, people who are fans of the Iowa Hawkeyes are watching tonight because they want to see this Arlen Bruce guy. And, you know, Arlen touched the ball the very first play of the game on a kickoff return. He's got 8 carries, 42 yards. He was featured on one drive, but Colin Kadolf is like, hey, dude, I'm the guy who's I'm the one who's carrying this team, and he's done nothing to disappoint tonight. Colin tonight, 8 carries, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't know which run was more impressive because they both had specialty. One was 43, the other was 4. One with the clock running down, the other one, nobody touched him.
Yeah, he took it right up the middle. It's not like he went to the outside and he had some speed. That he does it the hard way. He still is the feature back. I think Bruce just adds a little dimension. It just creates a different speed. It creates the linebackers how they react. So, like usually both Ankeny is if they can hang on to having both these guys running, they're going to be really difficult to stop. Kadolf, it's interesting. He's only a junior. He's getting a lot of looks in some of these preps to watch down the road. We got a lot of ink with the Brody Brex, with Bruce, but don't sleep on Kadolf.
If you see Colin Kadolf's legs in person, you'll know why he's a good running back. That dude's done a lot in the weight room, and a lot of these guys, as they have developed over the year, has gone on. Years in the program have gone on. You talk about featured backs. You mentioned Brody Brecht. He's got a TD catch. He's got 4 catches, 43 yards, future Hawkeye. But let's face it, Brady McCullough, his 4 catches, 41 yards. He's been impressive as well.
Hey, Coach said that during the week, during the press conference. He goes, "This guy's really impressive. He puts the hard work in. He gets overlooked. Breck's out there. We got Bruce's in there. Bauer gets some. Kadolf gets ink, but he's done the work. He gets out there. He's on the short side of the field. He goes across the middle. But he's had some of the tougher catches, and he's been really instrumental in helping moving the chains this first half."
Ho hum. Bauer, 13 of 14 passing, 123 yards. He's made it look way too easy.
I think he's the best quarterback in the state. I think by far away. I've not seen a quarterback yet this year. I haven't seen the east side of the state. I'm curious, but I think he's gotten so much better. He's better than last year. 3-year starter. I think he may be more destined to a bigger Power 5 conference team than he is to some of these mid-majors. But he's going to do well at the next level wherever he goes.
And Bauer has run it 6 times for 17 yards. Total, let's see, passing 123, rushing 116 for a total of 239 in offense. Johnston, 15 passing yards, 65 rushing, total of 80. They barely got out of the double digits in the first quarter. It has been an offensive struggle tonight. They've run the ball, trying to run the football. 12 carries, barely getting more than 3 yards a carry.
I think we're going to see a lot more in this in the second half. He had some success, going over the middle, doing little hooks across the middle, getting those little 5 and 7 yard passes. They're going to have to get some of the run game to kind of get that defense back on their heels a little bit to open up that passing game. They're becoming a little too one-dimensional. They do get the ball here starting the second half. See if they can mount a drive. But if they go 3 and out and give a short field to Ankeny, it could really be a long game.
The quarterback situation is 3 of 10 passing. They've been trying to find the tight end more. 3 catches, 15 yards. They've targeted him a couple more times, more verbally committed to Iowa State. He's an impressive player. Tim, you mentioned about the block a couple of times and then the release into the screen. I still think at the play, he's hit at the 30, and he somehow takes 2 tacklers and still gets 8 more yards after the catch. That, to me, is why he's probably destined to play in the Big 12.
Even though we're watching for it, there's a lot of good, talented players out there. But when you're playing at this level, then you're dominating this level, you know that you're a college player. So a guy like Moore stands out, Brody Breck stands out, Bruce, and also Bauer.
And there'll be times when we see players and we hear, oh, this kid's got attention, this kid's got attention, this one. But tonight, it's absolute. You can tell the separation of the Arlen Bruce, the Brody Brecht, the Moore, Tyler Moore for Johnston. These guys are head and shoulders above. But it's not always about that top talent. It's what can your second and the 21 and 22 players on your squad. And frankly, in this game, Tim, I think we've seen it's been Ankeny's second-tier guys that have made a big difference, especially on the defensive side of the football. When you look at Timu and Cornwell and Chido and Simonson up front, Cooper Cox. We talk about Tamden Webb-Tate all the time. Brecken Manis, Bryce Peterson, Jackson Pennygroth. The list goes on and on. Caleb Bracci. It's been a team defensive effort.
Oh, by far. That's one thing I'm really most impressed coming from no defensive player. I like to see how the linebackers are playing. They don't give you one single look. The defensive backs are aggressive going after the ball, so let nothing hit the ground. They aren't giving up, a lot of cushion out there when the receivers come out. They're playing them tough. You don't know where they're coming from. They're blitzing. They're using different spin moves. So this may be the best. All the years I've done this, I think it's probably one of the best defensive efforts I've seen, from a Hawk team. It really across the board, all 11 guys participating.
And I think there's coaches who would say, I'd be happy if we only gave up 21 points to Ankeny. You got to give Johnson's defense credit. I can see Coach Brian Woodley giving Jeff Brooks the business right now with his hands. We'll check in with Jeff in just a moment as he gets his final comments. The Ankeny Hawks are about to come back out onto the field. Johnson's been running through. And their second half pregame, Jeff Brooks is down on the sideline with yet another great report. Jeff?
Oh, I just got done with Coach. I'm glad that you just threw it down to me. I'm collecting my thoughts here. So
we saw you getting the lecture, so I know talking with Coach Woodley, you could do it all day. He's always so great to speak with.
Absolutely. What a great man. He was kind enough to give us some good words. His team is in it. And he's very confident in his team, but frustrated with a couple of things that happened that half. Field position number 1, he talked about having to turn that over. Bad snap on the kick. Making them drive, containing the defense is doing great, keeping Ankeny in check. But he just says we get the ball, we got to come out, we got to play with confidence, we got to move the ball down the field, stick one in the end zone, and see what happens from there. Now, on the Ankeny side of things, Coach Nelson, he gave a lot of credit to his defense and playing physical and playing with confidence. That was the big thing with him is how much confidence that defense is playing with. And then just the consistency in the offense and the offensive line. It took a lot that half for them to drive 5 plays, 7 plays, 8 plays, 8 yards, and then big play. So, we'll see what they can do defensively to finish out this half, and if Johnston can match that intensity, we'll see. So,
Jeff, before I let you go,
yeah.
you mentioned something. You didn't say the word, but it sounds like Ankeny's Coach Nelson he's wanting his guys to have some swagger. Is that fair?
Yeah, he is. There's no doubt about it, but I think he likes how consistent they're playing with just sticking to a game plan. And yes, have swagger and be confident, especially on the defensive end, but be confident in what you're doing, and that's going to carry him a lot further. So, whoop someone on that first play, the second play, the third play, and then just keep doing it for 10, 12 plays all the way down the field. That will wear a team out. So.
Yeah, and Johnston has the ability to do it, and, I know Coach Woodley probably feels a little frustrated right now, and, hey, couple of plays, this is a different game.
Certainly is. We'll see what happens in the second half.
Jeff Brooks down on our sideline all night tonight, bearing the shorts. What'd you think of what he had to say there, Tim?
Yeah, nothing surprising knowing these coaches. Woodley still thinks he's in the game, but they have to do something, quickly. They can't let what they can't do is go 3 and out, let Ankeny score right away, or it could get out of hand, quickly. But they are a good team. Johnston does come in here. They have the ability to do the offense. They're facing a really difficult defense. When they're playing together like this, they're playing with confidence as a unit. It isn't like 1 or 2, 3 guys making the plays. They are looking. There are 11 guys going after the ball. It's tough to make a long drive here, so they need to keep a short field, keep the field position. Nelson, I think he's got these guys. This is the first time they played here in 5 weeks. They played the very first game here against Centennial. They have been home for almost a month and a half, so they're probably excited to be here in front of their home crowd.
Other scores, Waukee leads Valley 21-0. Indianola, next week's opponent for Ankeny, 14-0 over Ames. Southeast Polk, one of the best teams in this side of the state, leads Ottumwa 20-0. And Dowling Catholic on the road tonight at Marshalltown. They are leading the Bobcats 21-0. Here, our score, 21-0. Ankeny scored early. Brody Brecht on a 16-yard touchdown pass. He got it there in the that was a 4-yard pass on 1st and goal. Caught the flag pattern, 7-0 on the pass from Bauer. And then Colin Kadolf, 43-yard run up the middle. Touched really by nobody, 14-0 at that point. And then on clocks running down, I'm out of timeouts. Everybody thinks I'm going to pass it. So here, let me hand it off to Kadolf for a 4-yard touchdown score. And that is your scoring recap. That ends our Iowa Corn halftime report. As we begin half number 2, Ankeny will kick it off, and Johnston will receive. The Hawks on the south side of the field, the Johnston Dragons on the north side. Tim Halber, Jeff Brooks is on our sideline. I'm Paul Yeager, and the rest of the crew here at CISN.TV. Glad to have you aboard wherever you may be watching from around the world. Glad to have you here. We got some Hawkeye fans wanting to see this number 14 in action, this Arlen Bruce guy. What's all this hype about? Well, I'm sure you'll get a chance to see him again here in the second half as Pelham tees it up, gets the sign, runs into it, and we're underway in half number 2. Taken back at the 11-yard line is Carter Kriegel. He's across about a return of about 6 yards. He took it at the 7 up to the 13. So again, Tim, poor field position for Johnston.
It's almost unfair. I'm laughing at myself here. Is that we got Jackson Pendergrath, who plays an outstanding linebacker. They got him on special teams. I think he just likes running down there and mixing it up and hitting people.
Last year he gets hurt, has a torn labrum, doesn't play as much as they had wanted to. Just this year he has been a guy that Coach Nelson says knows how to find the football. Let's see if he can do it here on first down. They go on the jet sweep. Good play here. Mason Cornwell had a good burst of speed across the 15 to about the 16. Coming up for the tackle, Brecken Manis.
Now, Brandon Simonson's in there. It looks like he got held a little bit, got up, he was a little mad. He goes, I got the tackle, but, man, the guy almost pulled my jersey off holding me there. But that's a good play. Keeping your focus on, even though you're getting held, not being called, but still making the tackle. But a good running play there to start for Johnston to get some positive yardage, getting 3 or 4 yards on that first carry.
Are you listening to the people below us yelling holding? That's all I could hear.
As an old lineman, I know it. I know when I see it.
They go up the middle on the dive play with Moore. So Aiden Moore has done everything for him defensively, and now they're going to maybe rely on him a little bit more. It's been Hovey Tubbs and a little bit of Aiden Moore running the football for Johnston. But, man, that was tough sledding. Maybe 1 or 2 on that play, 3rd and 6.
Get Webb Tate out there, you got Simonson. Both juniors playing really well tonight.
Play action back, caught near the first down, but I think it's going to, they're going to give him forward progress. Catch made Brady Hovey out there in the flats.
Looks like a right foot mark. He walked up there and he put his right foot down first, and that's on the uphill side, so he gets a first down.
Bryce Peterson was there for the tackle. First down. Johnston's gotten first downs. It's been that second drive that's been problematic for him. Rutt's the quarterback. He's got 2 to his immediate left, and he goes back on the handoff up the middle, and that's Moore, I believe. Aiden Moore. Now they're 10 yards, move the chains. So now Johnston running the football successfully.
Good job at the center there. Mueller and Christopherson, the guard, little tandem play there, kind of popping. It's a double team down on, looks like it probably on Timu, that creating enough of a quick hit up the middle and getting some quick yards.
Ball at the 36, 9:45 to play, third quarter. Handoff Moore, runs into Timu and a whole lot of other yellow shirts, but man, they just keep churning down that line. Kronlage, Christopherson, Muller, Tank, and Lammers. We have a flag come in late on the far side.
Could be a face mask. It's like it came in late.
Unsportsmanlike against Johnston. Well, so much for positive yardage. So now the Dragons will go back inside the 30, all the way back to the 26-yard line. It will remain second down, but that is the type of play that just kills drives.
Yeah, they had a nice drive there going on. The linemen getting upfield, getting their blocks, getting on the defensive linemen, creating enough of a hole. You don't need big yardage, but if you can stay positive, they can get some first downs. If they can get across midfield offensively. But now you've got really 2 plays to make up 20 yards to get a first down.
You got to get all the way up to the 46-yard line. It is 2nd and 20. Rutz, here comes the speedy blitz, and it's going to be a sack. Braden Simonson, the bull rush blitz. How about another -10 on that play?
Perfect time to call blitzes. They know they're going to pass. They're probably bringing in, the tight end releasing. You're really only leaving with 5 blockers. I don't know if the running back was in there, but what you do is you send more people, then you have blockers. That's what's going to happen. If you do the math, someone should be getting to the quarterback. And great job by Simonson. He was back there where the quarterback was still trying to set up in his stance. So good rush there.
3rd and 30. Not many 3rd and 21 plays. 3rd and 30 is even harder. Now it's about field possession. Or position. Here comes some pressure again. Rutz is going to have to run, and he'll skate out of bounds right before Peterson and Manis come up. And the punt receive team, Arlen Bruce, Brody Brecht come back for the Hawks. Coming in to kick is Nick Nyron. Senior on his last punt. Had to go down to a knee to get it, and that's where the drive took over for Ankeny. Nyron, high short kick, bounces at the 38 and goes out of bounds about a half a yard, maybe 2 later.
A little bit of rush in there. Ian Beardsley came in, another senior linebacker coming there. Enough of a rush where the punter gets in. He just wants to get it off, so he kicks it, short legs it a little bit. Then what you end up doing is you end up with a short punt. It's more like a pooch punt going down 20 yards. So once again, Ankeny comes out on the other side of the 50 at the 42-yard line to start their drive.
Brecht and company come out, 8:10 to play. Up 3 scores. See, that's Brecht, Summers, and Folk, the 3 to Bowers left. Summers goes in motion on the jet sweep. They go back to Bruce underneath. Bruce, good initial push, and then he is stood up and sent back. Cade Cannon. And also Ian Dolan. You know, sometimes when you're playing a guy that has all the attention, you really want to kind of lay a lick into him and say, I hit that Bruce guy real hard.
I want to make that Division One tackle, but unfortunately you're hitting him. He's 5 yards downfield. We'll see if they try to get him outside. One thing we have not called Cade Summers' number very much here. He's out here in the slot.
Brecht in motion, gets right behind. They throw it out to Brecht, and he went down to a knee to get it. And that'll be a completed pass, but then down at the 40. So loss of 2 on the play, maybe 3. 3rd and 7.
I'd call that on the quarterback. Bauer has got to get that out there, chest high. Brecht goes down to get it when it's down there, down below his knees. Naturally, he's going to get down to and try to catch the ball, but just got too low to the ground.
Bruce goes in motion, gets set. Little heat across the middle, thrown. Brody Brecht caught inside the 30. He's got a first down. He is popped by Will Scott. You know, Brecht from last year to this year, Tim, one of the things I agree. His route running is a little different this year. He seems to be putting in a little more of a cut and dig and really cutting in deep here. They go Bruce up the middle. Cannon, the tackle. And
Bruce, a little stutter step there. Kind of gives him the leg and then takes off upfield. He does have a nice cut. He does take it upfield quickly. He's very decisive on his cut and his running ability.
Johnston trying to hold the line here, but it has been tough so far. 2nd and 4. Brecht throws or catches the throw from Bauer, who's popped after he catches it. Moore and Walker, not before the Hawks get another first down, and now it'll be 1st and goal from the 9. So there are nights, Tim, when we have seen teams cover Brody Brecht and Bauer can't find him, just too hard. Tonight, he is the targeted receiver.
Using that height to his advantage out there, getting on the outside, and the ball's coming out quicker.
Colin Kadolf up the middle. 3rd touchdown of the night. 9 yards this time for Colin.
The old bread and butter play for them. Seems bigger than 5'10", 185. I look at him, I look at the program, I look out there, goes, no, that guy looks like he's 6 foot 205. Plays much bigger than the program calls.
Pelham to attempt the extra point at 27-0. One more makes it 28. Hawks lead 28-0, 5:50 to go, 3rd quarter.
Iowans know that winter means snow, ice, and freezing temps. Severe weather can make the roads downright dangerous. Truck Equipment Incorporated has the toughest work equipment that can stand up to the harshest conditions. Look for Western brand snowplows, quality you can count on. Buy new or utilize our repair services. We'll order new parts for same-day pickup or delivery. And now you can shop from home with our virtual showroom. Go to truckequipment.com today.
You got to have the mascot. They got the hawk head and the mascot in the stands. Limited fans. Kind of emptied out a little bit after the band performed here at halftime, but we still got a pretty good crowd, and they're watching a good Ankeny game, or a good Ankeny team, up 28-0 here in the 3rd quarter.
Credit goes, Espino, Kingston, Campbell, those guys up front, they're opening up some holes. That was just pure blocking on those 3 guys on the inside. the guard and the tackles there at the center really kind of gave Cadolph a great hole.
Fumble on the return, and Tubbs is just going to have to fall on it at the 10, and we have a Hawk down at the 25-yard line, and it is Penningroth. That would be a big loss if he is not able to go anymore tonight. Jackson Penningroth is on the turf. Hawks up 28-0 here. We'll step away for a moment.
Hey everyone, this is Dan Holm of Ankeny Fanatic. We're gearing up for another exciting fall season of high school sports. Be sure to check out our website for all of your Hawk and Jaguar coverage. Hey, look who's here. Welcome back, Coach.
How you doing?
Good luck this season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. What?
You don't want to miss any of the action. There you go, Jeff.
Thank you. Go to AnkenyFanatic.com for your best local sports coverage around.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Junior garlic bacon butter. I'm excited. Junior garlic butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger. I just want it right now.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Jeff Brooks is down on the sidelines with this update. Jeff?
Hey, yeah, so Penningroth just went down there on that kickoff return. Not sure exactly what it is, but he was holding his, I believe it was his right shoulder area. We'll see what happens. Also going to tell you my week at work next week is going to be busy with questions after questions by coaches coming to me asking what is going on here.
Should we do a little full disclosure, Jeff?
Do it if you need to.
Jeff works inside the Indianola School District, so they're going to be peppering you. But here's the thing. Indianola's head coach Eric Kluver knows a thing or two about Ankeny. The Ankeny native played for Jerry Pizzetti here as a Hawk years ago and then played at the next level at Minnesota State. So, yeah, he knows a thing or two about his hometown. But they'll ask Jeff a few questions, and they'll see some tape. And right now, the Hawks are up 28-0 as Johnston's been trying to get something to go, and they just can't. There's a handoff to Tubbs, and he's just not able to go anywhere. There have been certain running plays that have just been blown up almost every single time.
They're unable to run to the outside. The ends have done a good job, so they try to run on the inside, create that tap, because you only got a three-man front. If you can get shade on the nose tackle, but they've been playing it straight up, not easy to move up front. So now what it creates now is you got this 3rd and long.
They're in the 7th at San Diego. San Diego 1, St. Louis nothing. Not that anybody cares but me. Rutz's pass is almost picked off, and that's Cornwell, and that's the second pass on that drive that was almost intercepted by the Hawks. The first one, Crandall almost took home the pick. Bruce and Brecht go back to return. Another punting situation for Johnston with Nick Nyron. He is at his goal line. Fumbles it. Does not get it away. In fact, he is going to be drilled down at the 2-yard line. Donnie Brown straight. Let's see also, I think that's Vinny Villa-Manegna. And maybe Ian Beardsley.
There's a host of Hawks back there. Almost to say that he got it out. I'm surprised he got out even to the 3, but punting woes for the Johnston Dragons tonight has really cost them field position there, so giving it a very short field. So now the offense comes back out with Bruce in the tailback position. Wonder if they'll was going to ask you earlier, do you think Bruce will score in this game?
Well, we're about to find out if he gets it on 1st and goal from the 3. He does. Cuts around the left side, gets into the pylon. Arlen Bruce, his first Ankeny touchdown at 4:47 to go in the 3rd quarter.
That's where speed is. He got to the outside. They kicked it into gear and got to the corner and touchdown. So nice way. Good job for the young man there. They're getting a rush, getting a touch. He's got to feel good that he's getting some touches tonight at the running back position.
So after another punt problem, Ankeny punches it in on one play. Pelham kicks it. Good, and we're 35-0. We'll have running clock when we come back. 4:47 to go, 3rd quarter. This is CISN.TV.
Hi, I'm Chris from Fireplace Superstore. Fall is upon us and fireplace season is here, and you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Ordering groceries online from Hy-Vee is easy, and how I save time, especially during the holidays. For me, it doesn't get any better. Hey, I'll pass the rolls.
Oh, nice. Please pass the gravy.
I got you.
Oh, no.
I'll do it. Hy-Vee Aisles Online. We deliver to Mahomes and your home for the holidays.
Anyone need a knife?
Oh,
Max Pelham and the Hawks are lined up for kickoff. And this one is going to go back to the 5. Again fumbled. This time it's Cresta. And he is going to get nowhere but about 5.5, 6 yards up to the 10. Jeff Brooks is on the sideline. Jeff, I know you've got another report, but we can see Jackson Penningroth. They just took off his shoulder pads and jersey. They're looking at that right shoulder. I don't know if you can see. I saw Coach Rick Nelson over there. What else do you know?
Well, I haven't got up in there trying to give him space, but I see him shaking his head, and I see a lot of the signs that it's not really a positive situation for the young man, which is unfortunate. He's been the heart and soul of this defense, and boy, I hope it's just a short-term thing for him. But yeah, I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I just hope the rest of the season's still in play for him. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, hold on, Jeff, just for a minute. It's 35-0 here. Brady Hovey, the run. That touchdown, Arlen Bruce, Tim said just how quick its speed was. What's it look like from your vantage point? How fast?
Yeah, so I was standing right where he went into the end zone, and he got that edge quickly, and it was no doubt they knew it was coming. Johnston knew it was coming. Offensive line sealed that edge, but it was good to see him get the ball and run and get his first touchdown as a Hawk, and it's going to be a dynamic situation with Kadolf and Arlen Bruce combined, and hopefully they can both continue to be successful and teammates. You know, the one thing I've heard all along is how much fun this whole Ankeny team has together regardless. So we'll see.
Winning helps the happiness as Hovey has stood up. Timu is there, as is Webb Tate. Thank you, Jeff Brooks, for that report down on the sideline.
So kid Luke is in there, you know, at defensive tackle, really playing well. Kind of alternates between tackle and nose tackle with Timu.
Quarterback rolls out, throws, caught, and Jack Gorsh meets 3 gold jerseys. I want to call them yellow, but I know that they have a name. 3rd and 5. In Iowa high school football, when you're above 35 points, the clock only stops at the officials at a score.
See if Moore's out there, kind of a slot tight end position.
Rutz play action. Here comes the pressure. Coming and making the sack on a wonderful play is Tandem Webb Tate. He absolutely ran down Rutz, who had no idea the heat was coming like that.
The 6'2", 215-pound junior, really good speed because quarterback's running away, closing speed for him to get out there and make that tackle. Really hard because the tight end Moore was open on a quick slant across the middle, but you can't get the ball if your quarterback's running away.
He did it again. The punt was short, and the punter again went to the knee to get it. So that is 2 times where the punter has not had a chance, and now Ankeny is going to take over on the 3rd. That's one way to not kick the ball to Arlen.
I was watching it. He bounces up really quickly. He may have been down. He may have been on his movement coming back up. But they're a lot closer than I am. They see it. That's twice that they've done this, and it's cost him probably 30 yards, 40 yards worth of kicking and flipping the field. So what you don't want to do is this Ankeny offense is way too good to be giving them a 1st and goal at the 3.
Ankeny has scored a touchdown, missed field goal, touchdown on their last possessions. They go pass, and it's caught, and it's another Ankeny touchdown.
Bruce out there, little from his slot position, comes out there, squares out, stops, catches it, takes it in the end zone for 3 yards out.
Bruce, the touchdown reception as time expires here in the 4th quarter.
What we're seeing is that Bruce, as quick as he is, also has really good hands as a receiver. So adds another dimension to this offense.
Pelhamon to attempt the extra point. 42-0. Ankeny Hawks in the lead. The 4th quarter when we return.
I'm excited. Junior garlic bacon butter. I'm excited. Garlic butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger. Junior garlic butter bacon burger. I just want it right now.
Save thousands now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 15% off 2020 Equinox and 2020 Trax, or 0% for 84 months. 15% off 2020 Sonic and 2020 Spark. WaukeeChevy.com. 12% off 2020 Blazer. 10% off 2020 Colorado. Up to $15,000 off new 2020 Suburban. We're in a position to give you more for your trade. As always, we're a partner you can count on. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
That garlic butter is something else. It's like the garlic butter showed up to the party first, and then he called the bacon and was like, dude, you got to get down here. And then the bacon showed up, and now everybody's having a good time.
Junior garlic butter bacon burger.
Ankeny faithful have had a lot to cheer about. In fact, they just have been yelling, Arlen, Arlen. Student body for Ankeny has been wanting to see Arlen Bruce, so have the home fans and others around the state, as we've had people watching around the world tonight wanting to see this future Iowa Hawkeye. And yeah, he's been fine, Tim, but really it's been a team effort. There's so many names we've said tonight on a regular basis.
He just makes them better. He's not the team. The team was solid before he started playing, but he just adds another dimension, his speed, his pass-catching ability. It also rests, it gives Kadolf a little bit of breathing room as they come down the stretch. Like you really need to keep Kadolf fresh through the game, because I think this guy could carry probably 25 times a game and like it.
There is going to be a discussion, and I'll get into that after this drive, or after this punt, or kickoff, that's what it's called. Tubbs is back inside the 5, and he's going to run. Actually, it's going to be Cresta taken At the 7, he's up to the 20, met and dropped. And on the special teams, there is Nate Nessa. Nessa might be the guy who sees a little bit of less playing time with the arrival of Bruce. But all right, Jeff Brooks, these 3 4-yard drives, there's not much to talk about, but surely you've got something, right?
Yeah, so I do. I think that Johnston is going to be disappointed with just the breakdown in basic stuff. The bad snaps are killing that. I know it's on the punter for having his knee down, but the snaps aren't getting to him. So they're going to work on that. They'll improve, and by playoff time, it's a good team. This is a good Johnston team just playing a really good Ankeny team, and I would look to see them going a ways in the playoffs. Just got to get the breaks. They're not getting them tonight in short field. Every drive's been a short field for Ankeny, and that's just tough after time. So we'll see. Credit to Ankeny's defense, though. They're pitching a shutout so far. We'll see what happens here at the end.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Hovey the carry, and then a little extra yardage tacked on with a face mask on Ankeny.
A lot of new players in there. You got Ian Beardsley in there. You got Will Johnson in there with the end positions.
Tubbs around right side, cuts it back, and he stood up. He's past the first down, so that'll move the chains. Will Johnson the tackle. So Johnston beat Dowling 18-15 back on the 11th of September. And that win grabbed a lot of attention in high school football. But as Johnston comes to the line on first down, handoff to Tubbs, and he can go nowhere.
Good job by
Ian Beardsley makes another tackle.
Yeah, Beardsley did a good job holding off the block or getting in there and then get his hands on the running back. Didn't lose his ground and position, which is key. Otherwise, it creates a bigger hole. So nice job by him coming in. Backup role. We're going to see some guys here playing that really deserve some playing time. But a lot of times you're behind a really good athlete. So good depth to see here for Ankeny.
Handoff, Tubbs again, and he gets across the 40. And Bryce Peterson. I see Sean Gavin coming in. And Cade Lewick. So Dowling loses. Johnston beats Dowling. And Dowling has started to put some things together. A couple of transfers happened this week to them, mostly from Roosevelt. As they try to work in some new players, it was considered to be a down Dowling year, but they have really put some things together in these last few weeks. And that's a great run by Rutz, and then the ball comes out right at the end, but I think he fumbled it out of bounds.
He may have the first down by a yard or two. They're spotting it up at the 48, so no give up on Johnson. They're playing well. Rutz is doing he's been harassed back there. He goes back to pass. He's been flushed out of the pocket. He's been sacked. Still playing hard, getting first down. So this has actually been probably one of the better drives that Johnson's had all night.
Will Johnson, Ryan Crandall, Cooper Cox.
Still playing against a number of the number ones, Ankeny number ones on defense.
Rutz throws, and that's the kind of catch, if Cresta makes it, even if he doesn't make it, where he could get popped, kind of exposes the underside and can feel it. So Johnson lost to Urbandale 50-34. We haven't talked about Urbandale. We haven't seen Urbandale this season here play either Ankeny or Centennial, the games we've had here. Urbandale's a pretty good football team. Southeast Polk, Dowling, Ankeny, those are probably your top four in the Metro.
Yeah, they have to get out of this year. I think, a lot of teams can get out of here out of the first two rounds, but it's the Sweet 16 where it really gets down to the grind, which could be anybody's game.
Tubbs the carry ahead.
Or the final 8, you get into that sub-state, the semi, the quarterfinals. That's where we're going to see a lot of really good good football teams, there it could be anybody's game. And it's proving to be that it really is anybody's weekend. You have to come to play every time you get on this field because really anybody can win.
Manis and Crandall combine for the tackle. 6:50 to play. Rutz to pass. Goes to the screen to Moore. Caught at the 50. Then he just keeps trudging and driving and driving. Those legs gets all the way to the 40. His yards after contact, Tim, have got to be some of the best in the state.
He caught it around the line of scrimmage, and then the scrum happened. Looked like a rugby game broke out here, and then they just moved the pile down another 6 yards for the first down. But he is a player. Looks like I look at him, I go, he looks like he's 20 or 21 years old out there playing with these guys. But he does. He catches the ball. He's got nice, soft hands. The ball comes into his body. You're not going to strip it out. And then he just gets the leg drive growing. He's going downfield. So they haven't used him a lot tonight, but he's an impressive tight end.
He's open down the middle of the field now. Rutz looks for him, throws at a different receiver. Catch is made, and a first down for Johnston. Trey Walker inside the 30 down to the 24-yard line.
That's one thing Moore does. He brings the safety over, and the corner kind of shadows over, creates an opening there along the sideline. Good read by Rutz, looking at not trying to force it into the tight end as primary target, but looking for the wideout along the sideline.
As you mentioned, Tim, this is a lot of the ones for Ankeny on defense. This is a good drive by Johnston. They go Tubbs under the right tackle.
One thing you're seeing that they're getting some positive yardage out there. So you get 3rd and manageable. So you got a 2nd and 6 here. So if they can pick up, another 3 yards here, they might get a first down. So I think they're moving, keeping it a short down and distance to get a first down. So really putting together a nice drive.
Tight formation. They go Tubbs underneath. He sidesteps one, but he cannot get any further than Sean Gavin. Clock approaching 4.5 minutes. Still 42-0. Even if Johnston would score a touchdown here, we would still have a 35-point advantage, and the clock would keep moving.
Real sense of pride here for Johnston. They know they're a better team than this. They want to get a score. They want to get the goose egg off that board. So really, at this point in the game, you really are in 4-down territory.
Ankeny defense has allowed no more than 18 points this season. Oh, and that could be one that you'll feel in the morning.
I don't know if a flag yet. Nope.
Rachi came in right there on Gorsh, and he got a step and a half. I thought maybe they were going to be a little itchy on that, but the clock keeps moving, and it'll be 4th down for Johnston. And if Ankeny if they could not get another yard, this would be the worst field position Ankeny's had all night if they would take over on downs.
I said look for the tight end, look for more or something, hooking. He does have to hook about 8 yards downfield.
Here comes some pressure, gets it away. No, sir. Sean Gavin and Weston Folk.
Folk getting a little playing time there as defensive end.
Well, it's not uncommon to see a big, tall, strong set of arms with a body to go with it to come after you. Especially, a good nickel or edge rusher, fresh legs.
Ankeny got good pressure on with 4 guys. They've blitzed, got a lot of pressure on there. I've seen 3-man rush, scare out the quarterback. So did a nice job defensively as a unit. They let him go down the field, but they stiffened up and kept him out of the end zone.
Colin Riggs will come out with the offense. And he looks left, and now he'll run it. Colin gets up to the 25, 26-yard line. JT Puck and Dylan Smith for Johnston on the tackles. We approach 2 minutes.
Good to see Colin Riggs out there, senior quarterback.
Throws, kind of got that one. Cade Summers the catch. Cade corrals, and now he's going to cut back, and he has a whole lot of room. Cade Summers says, you're not going to throw it to me once, but I'm going to make it count. Cade Summers down the far side, near sideline. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Cade Summers.
That is
75 yards and a touchdown on a throwback screen.
He might have covered 150 because he took it from the left sideline around the 25, cut, faked, cut, and then found a wall, the picket fence, and got escorted down the right sideline for a touchdown. So, yes, he goes, you don't throw it to me a lot, but my yards per catch is much higher than yours.
He can hang that on Brecht or anybody else. Good point. Oh, man. The extra point is up and good, and the final 141 here. Cade Summers, that is his 6th touchdown on the season. That is his 15th catch, and he'll get over 400 yards. Now, coming into tonight, Jace Bauer was short of the 1,000-yard passing mark. He's over that now, as the Hawks have thrown 209 yards passing, 145 rushing. And that was a safety valve throw. I mean, that wasn't even.
On the sideline here, Bauer is giving Colin Riggs, he goes, I think that was a shot put out to the left flat, and they're kind of giving him a hard time for the. He threw to the flat, ended up with a 75-yard touchdown pass. So.
It wobbled. It really did look like a shot put. You're right.
But he gets credited with a 75-yard touchdown pass.
Or was it 76? Was it 75? It was. Okay. Got it right the first time. Thank you, Jeff. So that makes it 49-0 at this point. Summers' 75-yard touchdown pass from Colin Riggs. You think this score is going to grab some attention tonight?
I think it will. I think it's going to, we're reading about it on Sunday, we're the top teams. We'll see if it moves Ankeny. They've been predominantly kind of like the number 3 team in the state.
Oh, here we go. Oh, thought there we had a seam there for Johnston late for Cresta, but not quite.
Because they keep saying Southeast Polk is the perennial number 1 team. Urbandale has been number 2.
And not playing tonight.
And Ankeny's been number 4 after West Des Moines Dowling. So it's interesting that, let's see if this moves them up. I think it's going to be hard not to put with a performance like this, maybe ink them up, nudge up to number 3. And the other odd one is Pleasant Valley on the east side of the state is undefeated. We just don't know how good they are and how who they've played.
Sam Hesselman in at quarterback, fumbles, the snap gets away from him. He falls back on it, and that might just be the last play of the game. Nope, they'll have to do one more.
7-second difference.
Well, Pleasant Valley, who have they played? Well, in that part of the state, Bettendorf was always the perennial power, but it has kind of shifted in Scott County over to Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley had a baseball team that Ankeny beat in the first round of the state tournament this year. So there are some good athletes. Not all of them are out for football, but good athletes in the school. Pleasant Valley's had a good history.
But the Muscatines, the Davenport Norths, that's just their district is not, really difficult. Where some of the ones over here, you've got, in the metro. So be interesting to see how they come out of that area of their pod for the playoffs.
So Johnston takes the penalty on the delay of the game, and the clock doesn't stop, and it keeps on rolling, as do the Ankeny Hawks, to a 49-0 win as they improve to 5-1, setting up a Week 7 matchup against Indianola next week, and we'll have it here on CISN.TV. So we'll bring in Jeff Brooks for one final report down on the sideline. We're not doing post-game interviews this year out of distancing concerns. And Jeff, that was Ankeny from the beginning to the end.
our guy.
Yeah, it really was, and they controlled the line of scrimmage. They got all the breaks.
Some of us got sick.
From the
Johnston didn't come
fumbles, the long plays, the throwback that reversed fields went 76, 75 yards, whatever it was. I mean, it was a dominating performance. And I would say you're probably right. I would be surprised if they don't move up in the rankings. I know Southeast Polk is a legit team too, but boy, that'll be a fun matchup if those two ever meet. There's a lot of good teams in Central Iowa, and we haven't seen what's out east yet, but I know these Ankeny kids are fired up to march forward and take on what happens from here on out.
Southeast Polk has been an impressive team. You want to talk about weapons. You've got 3 Division I recruits there on that team as well. On the line, their quarterback, a receiver. They have a lot of talent there. This team, Tim, is not missing any talent either.
No, they are. I thought they had a great defensive performance. They put pressure on from all different angles, from the defensive end, from the linebackers, from the safeties. They covered well. They played really smart on special teams. Took advantage of when you make mistakes, they made you pay. So that was one of the better overall, I think, from top to bottom. A great performance by the Ankeny Hawks.
Hawks tonight, 209 yards passing, 145 yards rushing for a total of 354. Bauer tonight, 2 touchdown passes. He's 6 of 17 rushing, and his passing then would be 17 of 18. He was 17 of 18. Only 1 incomplete pass, so that will help your efficiency rating tremendously. His targets tonight, 6 catches. Brody Brecht, 52 yards, 3 for Arlen Bruce and a score, 3 for 23. Summers, 1 for 75. That's the pass from Colin Riggs. 2 catches, 10 yards for Kadolf. 4 catches and 41 yards for McCullough. Those were big early. Rushing-wise, Kadolf, 9 carries, 57 yards, 3 touchdowns. 11 for Bruce, 56-yard in his Hawk debut. Johnston tonight just really struggled. They were 7 of 19 passing, and for only 4 yards. Receivers, they went to the tight end Moore. 4 catches, 23 yards. He really was not a factor.
Yeah, they did not let him to be a factor in the game, so they made them one-dimensional. And then the special teams turnovers, the punt team would really let them down, probably cost them, almost 100 yards in field position tonight with some of the miscues.
Aiden Moore, 7 carries, 25 yards. Tubbs, 11 touches, 36 yards. Rutz tonight, 4 carries, -8, so just not their night. So the Ankeny defense, now, there is a couple of stories developing here. We're going to see how do you continue to work in Arlen Bruce, how do you continue to work in, keep Cade Summers in the mix, and let's not forget Nate Nessa, who has been running a lot here in the middle part of the season. You still have Weston Folk. A lot of weapons, a lot to prepare for if you're a team facing Ankeny.
Yeah, you could run trips. You could go with a single formation. You can go slot back. There's a lot of things. You don't know if they're going to run or pass out of it. On top of that, your quarterback can run the ball. So if you do happen to cover everybody and spot everybody, quarterback's going to take it off. And early on, Bauer had some nice runs in there, kind of puts the defense on their heels, keeps the linebackers in. Then he ended up with one-on-one coverage. It probably opened up the game for Brecht later on. So, and he's improved, as we've seen over the years, at his catching ability. He's using it. He's much more physical than he has been as a receiver we saw, some years ago. So he's becoming a big weapon and then makes everybody else better.
One other story to watch is the health of Jackson Penningroff's shoulder. He did have ice on it as the team left the field tonight. That's going to be a hard thing to deal with defensively if they lose him. He has been everywhere. We'll see how that injury progresses. Waukee leads Valley in the fourth quarter at last check, 28-23. Indianola is ahead of Ames, 28-0. Indianola is Ankeny's opponent next week. Let's see. Quick recap here. Brecht a touchdown on a pass. Colin Kadolf Great run up the middle, then another one right before half, 21-0 at the break. Kadolf up the middle again on a 9-yard run, then Arlen Bruce, his 2 touchdowns, and then Cade Summers. That's how it ends, I think, Tim. So you put a bow on it. Final thoughts as we move forward.
Fun to see Ankeny again. We haven't seen them for 5-6 weeks, so I think they got better. I think as they're a proven team, and maybe the loss might have been the best thing for them to kind of put them back in, refocus them. This is a very focused team tonight. I'm excited to see how they do the rest of the season, but a good performance. Johnston played tough. They had a great drive there at the end, but I think just with the weapons and the balance and the coach a little beat up, it was just they faced a gauntlet tonight.
Thank you, Tim Hauber, for Jeff Brooks, Jeff Martins, and the rest of the crew at CISN.TV. Thank you so very much. My name is Paul Yeager. Tonight, Ankeny wins 49-0. They improve to 5-1. We'll be on the air sometime after 6 o'clock next week. Indianola comes for the final regular season game. So long from Ankeny Stadium, where the Hawks are winners, 49-0.